This is Josiah Plays Dungeons and Dragons. This is the Shattered Crown campaign with our DM Scito. With me, as always, are my fellow players Tim and Nox. And we have just arrived in the city of Tyr.
Indeed. And also, don't worry, Enigma. I also remember the entire theme song. Nox is, Nox. Well, Nox also is my spirit animal. I have many spirit animals. Nox is one of them.
Yay.
Okay. So yes, you guys have just arrived in Tyr after a long-ass travel through the desert. In fact, I calculated how long through the desert you had gone. How long was that again? That was... That's right, you guys travel approximately 650 miles.
It's a lot of miles.
Yeah, of which about 520 of that was on foot.
That is indeed a lot of miles.
But you know, I think that you guys probably you got a lot of physical work out there, and sandstorms, they really are the ultimate physical trainers when you think about it.
I love that.
That's very true. Very true.
Spirit animal.
So, as I was just saying, you've arrived in Tyr only to discover that there is currently a massive funeral occurring. It appears that the famed deposer Riches, the hero of the Prison Pentad series, he's dead. So, guess the stuff in Prison Pentad isn't going to be happening. Good times, good times. Anyways, you also have just met a mysterious figure who attempted to basically kill another woman, who then warned you if you didn't allow her to kill her, you would regret it. You prevented her from killing her. Of course, as it turns out, you did regret it, as said woman was banded and attempted to rob you. Thankfully, you guys violated some meridians and got vicious, and basically just did a whole bunch of stabbing and killing and crunching with quarterstaffs. So they're dead now.
You know, your mic is kind of unclear. Like, the volume is okay, but it sounds kind of... kind of muddy or echoey or something.
Sorry, 1 second. How's that?
I think that's a little bit better.
Yeah, I think so. I was just about to mention that as well.
Sorry, I had it hang on a little flap of my shirt collar, and I guess it was sort of wiggling and waggling.
The old wiggle waggle.
But how do I sound now?
Better.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so you guys have just killed a whole bunch of bandits, and you're now loaded down with a lot of gear. In fact, Nox, I believe you are over encumbered.
That's true. I am over carrying capacity at the moment. I'm hoping we get to a merchant pretty quick.
Well, let me ask this. Is there anyone who might be willing to carry a few things for Nox?
Well, I'm over encumbered too.
You are?
I guess. I mean, I don't know what encumbrance rules you're using.
You are not over encumbered. You are significantly under over encumbrance.
Well, how do I... What is
15,
my...
It's 15 times your strength.
Oh, I thought it was only 10 times your strength. Oh, good. Yeah, I could carry a few things then.
Yeah, I've got some space as well.
Unless of course you're a large creature, in which case I think then it goes up to 30 times your strength.
I mean, nobody can possibly do the crazy math of 15 times 12.
Yeah, that one's impossible.
It's like 199. No, it's not. 180?
Yeah, 180.
Nice. Oh yeah, I can carry shitloads of shit then.
I was wondering this entire time why you were going, I don't know what my encumbrance sort of thing.
I thought it was 10 times your strength, so I was like, oh, I'm really riding the edge here.
All right, Corin would have then, in that case, dropped a light crossbow and 2 of these scimitars.
All right, I'll take those.
And there is also still, I believe, those leather armors on the ground.
You know, I don't really feel like we're going to get a good value from hacked up used leather armor.
You have mending, remember? So, you could mend some. I'm just saying, you could get some leather armor in there, remember?
Yeah, how do you carry around a bunch of extra suits of leather armor, though? It seems like that would be really bulky.
Well, you could probably fold them up to an extent. I mean, they're leather armor. They're not plate or anything.
All right.
What is the weight on a bone scimitar?
I believe that's 3.
Yeah, 3.
All right, what am I picking up then?
Well, there was 4 suits of leather armor which were still sellable, and a suit of leather armor weighs approximately... Oh, it's good. It's lighter than it used to be in frickin' Baldur's Gate, where it was 15 pounds and sold for only a gold, but you know who would still pick them up and sell them? This guy.
I know, you're a crazy person.
Yep. No, they're about 10 pounds each.
We literally cannot afford a pack mule. Not that there even are mules in this world, but well, there are, but they wouldn't hire themselves out to carry your shit. Maybe they would actually. Maybe we could just get an actual porter, like a person that's really strong to carry our shit.
Or you could just try and wait until you have. I mean, again, you could. An Erdlu is only 75 enamel pieces.
Did you say they were 10 pounds each?
Yeah.
I'm not taking those.
Okay.
I am going to take the however many swords and crossbows and stuff you need me to take.
2 scimitars, 1 crossbow. That would be basically a total of 11 pounds.
Well, each of those in leather armors, they go for about 10. Well, if you were buying them, 10 enamel pieces each. Still no?
I'm not taking them.
I think I can grab 1.
Okay. You're a stronger man than I am, Josiah. I wouldn't be leaving any of them behind. I couldn't.
I mean, in real life, like, a real person would most likely not strip the armor off of the dead people. Well, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it would take extra time. It would be... You're not going to get that much for them. It would be super weird carrying a bunch of bloody suits of armor around the streets.
Well, that's why you have Nox with prestidigitation. He's your personal laundry cleaner.
Yeah, go ahead and solve your problem of awkwardly carrying armor by having some kind of arcane wizard distract the crowd.
Exactly. Speaking of which, how bespattered are we?
Oh, you are bespattered as fuck. You are like some Dragon Age Origins characters right now.
Just casually having, like, personal conversations while covered head to toe in blood.
Yeah, basically.
A short order coal porter? Okay.
Yeah, I want to kind of clean up as best I can and...
Now, do you want to stay in this area with all the bodies, or do you want to try and find somewhere else?
No, we gotta go find some place to hide out quickly before things go from bad to worse.
How long would it take to prestidigitate a person clean?
I'd say to get the blood off them, I'd think about maybe 5 to 10 minutes per person.
Jesus.
Well, it's an entire person. We're talking multiple things of clothing, all that. I'm sorry, Josiah. Do you have some quicker method of getting vast amounts of blood off a person? Oh, you could jump in all that water that Athos is known to have.
Yeah, we'll just go jump in the, one of the canals or something that don't exist.
Okay, so is there some place obvious nearby where we could maybe hide out?
Well, make a survival check. Well, Sinclair, you're not really noticing anything. Let's not start up. Oh no.
Here
Oh
we
no.
go. It
Oh,
begins.
great.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm using inspiration.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Jomo think we safe here.
Yeah, we safe in this Templar warren.
Okay. So Jomo, you think that probably you can get up onto the roofs of the buildings and cross over to a nearby alley that way. That way you won't be walking through the streets covered in blood.
All
In
right.
fact, you could probably just stay up on one of the roofs and clean up there.
All right, let's do that then. I lead the party to a safer spot on the roofs.
Okay. You clamber up on the roofs and
Try to find a good roof where there's no visibility from the ground to where we are on the top of the roof, like one with a good edge on it or something.
Yeah, most of them have a good edge of about 5 feet or so. So you're pretty good. You're in fact going to huddle near a chimney, so you've got a good amount of cover right now.
All right, cool. Well, if that's the case, then the first thing I want to do is rest because I'm almost dead.
Yeah.
And have no spells.
Yeah,
Okay, so
A 30-minute rest, I guess.
all right. Are you spending hit dice, I imagine?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm spending both of mine.
Okay, so Sinclair gets 10 points back of healing.
That
Whoa!
was a pretty damn good roll.
Yeah, it was.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, you. Fuck yeah, you are. Okay, so, Jomo, you basically feel apparently 30 minutes after getting stabbed multiple times. That's all it takes.
100%. I'm at 100%, guys.
All right. So Jomo, yeah, you're feeling much better. You also regain the use of, I guess, one spell, but right now would be the case.
Yeah, one spell. So, after spending hit dice, does anybody still need healing particularly?
I'm still down 5, so not the end of the world, but I could use something.
Corwin's in perfect health.
I imagine, Corwin, you've been resting as well, so you'll also get a spell point back.
Yeah, Corwin's would take the rest, but he would kind of be frowning and considering the situation with our current state.
Okay.
So I won't cast anything. So after that, I think I'll start, doing mending on things that are damaged and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. You can mend. Yeah, there's some various simple tears and whatnot that you're able to mend with little issue. Corwin, are you going to try and clean them off while you do that?
Yeah, again, if they seem a bit distracted, although he's probably not going to be too concerned with that just because we're in such a state. Like, Corwin himself knows he doesn't have any spare clothes besides his desert uniform.
Yeah.
So he would, think and, kind of, go in his pack, and he just sort of, flip his paintbrush around a bit, and thought, and he'd just start with a deep, and just start speaking the words of Skorango, Skorangare, Skorangavi, Skorangatus, just with that, just an angry draconic, and begin making patches of blood disappear from him.
That sounds really circumspect. I'm sure we wouldn't notice.
Not a thing.
Yep, the people who are living in the building below you, they're not concerned at all by this.
Well, we're protected by the roof, I believe.
Well, is there a rule that says how loud your verbal incantations have to be? I mean, could you whisper that shit?
You could whisper that shit, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine he's not like it's an angry muttering, basically. It's not skywriting the prestidigitation.
Thank God it isn't. Otherwise, again, you've seen the rules for that. No,
I have seen the rules.
Again, I will say this. I will not actually enact those rules against him in reality unless the other two want me to enact those rules.
Oh no, those rules are too harsh. I think skywriting should be encouraged. He should just get a point of inspiration every time he uses it.
Okay. Yeah, that's never going to happen.
That's a bad roll. It's a good roll.
Mm-hmm. It's a good roll. Jomo really does want to see the city-states burn, apparently.
And like if it's like an inspiration-based skywriting, I mean, I could write like little fortune cookie sayings like up in the sky.
Sure, you could do that. Also all of a sudden water could start springing from the ground and the Sorcerer Kings could all abdicate peacefully.
That's true. Or water could spring from the clouds that are written in the skywriting.
Exactly. All these things
That'd
are
be cool.
Completely possible.
Enigma says it's basically the draconic equivalent of Milton from Office Space ranting about people taking his favorite stapler.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Man, I haven't seen Office Space in, like, forever. I barely remember it. But I remember liking it.
I remember liking it. I like that John C. McGinley. He showed gumption, that one.
I love the word gumption. If I had a kid, I might name my kid Gumption.
I think that actually might be a reason for Child Protective Services to be called. Wait, you want to name your kid what? No, you're not. Sorry, that ain't happening.
Only if it's a girl, though. Gumption, nah, I don't really see it as a guy name. But it's a really nice girl name, I think.
Yeah, it's a really nice girl name. Someone to bring home to the
could
family.
Be Gump for short, you know. Gumpy.
Okay.
Gumpty.
Before we eventually start getting into a situation where Josiah is going to try and give birth to Gumby, let's just keep going.
Just gum. Alright, so we realize he's casting cleaning spells on us over and over, right? I mean...
Yeah, I don't imagine you're trying to hide it. No.
He would have started with himself, like he'd kind of be like over in the corner and kind of start that, but yeah, it's kind of obvious that there couldn't really be hidden much in this situation, but he kind of feels that to go back out into the streets like that would be a worse fate.
Yeah, it probably would. And again, if there was any time to be casting arcane magic, it's probably now while the Templars are currently concerned with the funeral.
True.
So, is everybody okay?
A little worse for wear, but I'll be okay.
Pretty good. Didn't get a scratch in that one, fortunately.
Did good. What good? What we gonna do now?
I mean, I suppose I could try and get us back to the Brick Barrow again, but, I mean, we could also see if maybe Caravan's Way is a little bit more unblocked now, but judging by all those people, I don't think there's much hope of that.
The deep thoughts of Jomo.
Would be good to find place to sell shit, and then find a place to stay for the night, yes?
Most definitely.
Okay, well, Corwin, I'll say that you know the general area where the brick barrel is from where you are right now, because from where you are, you can actually see the slave pits, or what were the slave pits. Now they're mostly used for both brick making, as well as an impromptu market. Though chances are not today, given that you don't hear anything. It's dead silent out there, so they probably aren't open in terms of market today.
Okay, so Corin would basically know the direct route to the brick barrel from here, like, in a sense.
Yeah, you know the general area. I mean, you're basically at the edge of the brickyards. I mean, you can already see all around you. There's little piles of bricks pretty much everywhere.
Okay, so we're like fairly close to the brick barrel. We're kind of getting into that border region.
Yeah.
It isn't too much far over to the brick barrel from here, but of course, who knows what we'll find when we actually get there. This place should have a little bit more activity to it, but I'm guessing the little bit of market that they have just is closed today with all the goings-on.
What did the thing we find actually say about Brick Barrel?
Just that we need to somehow find out who sent this person. And the only clue we have is V. Like, I think that's what their name starts with.
Yep, yeah, the mercenaries note. If you need me to reread it. Well, the part that you want is basically bring loot back to V by Brick Barrow.
Yeah.
I will note that another particular one of those notes also made reference to a man named Ven.
A man named what?
Ven.
Okay.
Specifically, it was Skerver's journal that made reference to Ven. God damn it, Nox. Okay, so
A Venn diagram would be nice. Well, in the event that we find this guy, hopefully he doesn't put us into some kind of oven. But it should be an adventure, regardless.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well, adventure's over, everyone. Tear bursts into flames immediately. Everyone dies.
Yes! I won!
Nice.
Character goal reached!
So you can't get so frustrated when they're just trying to vent.
Yeah. I mean, we're just taking inventory of our quests right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not realize that today the witch parade wasn't found. Good. Please shower me more with your smiles and laughter, good sir. Yes.
All right, are we ready to gather our party and venture forth?
Nice.
Motherfucker.
And it's Skerver's journal that has the reference to Ven, that next time I see Ven, I'll tell him to shove that bloody amethyst down his fucking throat.
We'll get vengeance on him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think all we're doing is just teaching Scito to make very complicated names for things moving forward.
You were slowly doing that, yes. Hope you enjoy pronouncing your name. It has like 13 apostrophes, assholes.
The problem is, I don't think that there's a word in the English language that Josiah doesn't know, so it's going to be a very interesting back and forth.
But he can just make up weird shit that doesn't fit into any word, really.
Mm-hmm. Because, there's always other things I can use. And there are
Or
are
he could
some-
just use real-world Polish names, which basically have no concordance with any other language on Earth.
So for example, what does Sistroid mean, Josiah?
I don't know.
Yeah, see? English words he doesn't know. An entire world out there.
Well, I mean, you can't go into sciences and stuff. That's not. I don't know what cystroid means, but I assume it's something from a.
Well, it's not necessarily it, actually. But never mind. Before we get into this, and let's just
Windblown
continue.
chicken time, here we go. Tell us about Sistroid.
Nope, not new yet. Okay. So, Corwin, do you want to lead them to the Brick Barrow? Or at least around where you think it is?
Corin would probably say, well, I'm pretty confident I could get us to there, but is that where we want to go?
Yeah. What time of day is it about, Scito?
It is currently 1:30 in the afternoon, and it is sunny, with a 90% chance of goddamn no rain ever.
Also, a 10% chance of rain. Nice. It's like a record for tier.
That 10% chance is of no rain almost never. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Sinclair will say that. Yeah, we should probably head there now. Yeah.
I'm in agreement. Hopefully this isn't some sort of trap or whatnot, but yeah, let's go ahead. And Corin will work his way off the roof and begin heading in that direction.
Okay. So you begin working your way through the brickyards, and again, the area is pretty much quiet. Most people, you imagine, given that, Corwin, what you remember is that this part of town was where the deposers are the most popular. Rickus, in particular, was considered an absolute hero to these people, so it's not surprising that there's pretty much no one out here. As to whether or not you can find the Brick Barrow, make a history check. Okay. You look around for a while, but you're not able to find the exact area where the Brick Barrow is. You are able, though, to reach an area that looks like a market for beasts.
A market for beasts?
Yes, there's various cages around that have tanks and urloos and crogloos and all those sorts of things, including some more exotic creatures such as Kembos.
Yeah, I think I got us turned around a little bit, but yeah, look at this. This market seems like it's still open.
There's not too many people here. There's just a couple of people who seem to be acting as guards, as well as one man who looks like he might be just minding some of the stock. He's just checking over things every so often.
So I imagine that the vendors of tier are not like those of Iron Forge, where random pie vendors will buy anything that you want to sell.
No, sadly not.
I was just about to say, all we need to do is find any inn, because all video games have taught us that any innkeeper will purchase any sort of goods from you, no matter what they are and what quantities.
Exactly.
They're just infinite gold machines.
Oh, hi, I notice you're running a small bed and breakfast. Would you like to buy these 12 pallets of stuffed animals? Yeah, we need those. Yeah, I'll take them.
Yes. I also have a brick of pure platinum.
Could
you exchange this to gold pieces for me?
Would you like to buy my 1,259 tin cans?
Yeah. Those tin cans will never be sold, though. We both know that.
It's true. You know what, hold on just a second. You guys just kind of keep going for a second. I need to take a fast, even though we're still right at the beginning of the game. I still have to quickly take a fast, like, 5-minute break, but you guys can keep going.
Okay.
Or you could choose not to. I don't care. I'll be right back.
Nice.
All right.
So I'm curious for the one guy that looks like he may be managing a stall or have livestock. What is he selling?
He hasn't actually made any offers. He's just staying there looking over the stock, and he's making markings on a piece of papyrus.
No, I mean his stock. What is it that he has, it looks like belongs to him that he's trying to sell?
What I'm trying to say is it doesn't look like he's trying to sell anything. He looks like he's just administering. It doesn't look like he might be.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, you could ask him. You guys have thus far just been sort of standing around, looking around in the middle of this place, not asking any questions of these people, so...
Yeah, Sinclair will walk up to him and try to get his attention. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, can I help you?
Yes, are we very far from the Brick Barrow?
The Brick Barrow? No, you actually just missed it. If you simply leave this area a bit, go back into the brickyards, and go around this block, he points to across from the wall tier where this beast market is up against. He points across the way to a group of sort of little shacks and whatnot. If you go around that, you will find the Brick Barrow. I do not know why you would want to go there. It is a place of much sadness.
Why is it a place of much sadness?
You see that ziggurat there? And he points at, the massive ziggurat that dominates Tyr's skyline.
Now that you mention it, I do.
When they were building that, hundreds of slaves died in the building of that. And when they died, they were taken and thrown down the pits. And that pit was known as the Brick Barrow. Thankfully, though, Tithian has seen some wisdom in this and sealed it shut with a stone core.
That's the most horrible story I've ever heard.
Yes, it is indeed a horrible story. Many of the bricks around here were made by just such slaves. Nowadays, though, thankfully, only freemen work.
And what is it that you're selling here?
I am not a merchant, I am afraid. I am simply here to keep stock of the many beasts. We have many buyers who come across, some for the arena, others simply wishing them for pets or such, mounts, that sort of thing.
Okay, and if we were interested in purchasing something, is there someone we could talk to?
I'm afraid you would have to wait until my manager Asif comes. He is the one who tends to the beasts and makes all the sales.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate your time.
It is no problem. It is sad, no, that we have now lost almost all of the deposers.
That it is. You wouldn't have expected it to happen so quickly.
It's true. First Agus died, then of course Neva, and now we have lost Rikus. It is a very sad time. All we have left are Tithian and Sadira.
It's a shame. You would think they would have prospered after, all of their efforts and all that sort of stuff.
Everyone thought Tyr would prosper after the death of Kalak. And for a time, we did. But now I am beginning to understand where some of the anger of the refugees comes from. This is not to say I agree with them. Kalak was an evil man, and his death should be celebrated by all. But I fear we were not quite prepared for the consequences of his death.
Agreed. It looks like there's a lot of disgruntled people. They're completely choked off caravans away.
Yes, I would doubt that anyone will be able to get in there for the next day or so.
Corin would nod at that, kind of thinking over, what he had seen, and I wouldn't doubt that at all, possibly even longer.
Possibly, yes. Although I imagine eventually Tithion will have the Templars clear out the people there. You cannot interrupt trade, especially not with Tyr as it is. We need what trade we have left.
Very true. Yeah, we were headed up to do some trade ourselves, but got cut off naturally.
Naturally, I empathize with my friends. But as I said, if you wish to reach the Brick Barrow, you simply need to re-exit back to the brickyard and go around those shanties there. There you will find it. It will be hard to miss. It is the Great Stone Plug there.
Thank you kindly. And would you say that this selection of beasts is a good and healthy sort?
Yes, of course. We only keep the healthiest beasts here.
Excellent. Would you also say that that the owner here is sets reasonable prices, so to speak?
Of course, he ensures always to sell at market prices, never above.
That's excellent. We'll definitely keep this place in mind.
Of course. Well then, I will hope to see you again soon. Many blessings on your travels.
And to you as well.
Yes, thank you again.
Corbin will kind of wonder to himself, being a salesman himself and knowing salesman lingo, if what was being said was completely truthful, or if it was sort of a hyping up of, oh yeah, of course our prices are reasonable. It's the greatest stuff around.
Well, he said market prices, so essentially what he's saying is the prices aren't going to be any lower than what's in the mount handouts.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's reasonable to believe that. I mean, yeah, you don't have any reason. He seemed at least earnest enough in that. In terms of their health, it looks standard. I mean, this isn't the greatest. These aren't the greatest conditions per se, but none of them look mistreated outright. So you could probably still. Though again, these are probably not, for the most part, actually what you want to buy as mounts. Many of these do not look fully trained. As he said, they may be more intended for things like the arena.
Gotcha.
I'm a little disappointed that your handouts don't have prices like per city-state to represent, market variations and stuff.
You think I don't have that, but I do. That's when you start getting. That's when you start getting into trading. That's when that'll come into play.
Because we could turn this shit into Sunless Sea, where we're going to one place to buy a bunch of cheap shit, and then go back to the other place and sell it. We just become merchants.
Gotta get to Port Carnelian.
There actually is a component to this. There are things you can buy in here that are much cheaper here than they will be in other city-states.
Alright, anyway, I'm back. I was listening the whole time, so you guys don't have to catch me up.
Alright. So you guys follow his instructions. You head back out into the brickyards and go around. And sure enough, you find this great stone seal. But the area around it looks completely abandoned. Or not abandoned, I should say. Just it doesn't look like there's anyone out there.
I guess these people's fate was sealed.
God damn it.
Yeah, this place does seem pretty bricked up.
Well, okay, let's see how many of you have got sun sickness now. Let's see here. Yeah.
I bet it's well insulated though.
Okay, so let's start handing out that sun sickness there.
What's up, Jen?
Oh. Hey, Jen. I know it is indeed a fabulous pyramid. It really is.
That is the biggest pride pyramid in all of Dark Sun.
Say what you will about Kalik, but that man at least knew what he was and wasn't afraid to shout it out for everyone to hear. He even has a giant phallus tower, and right next to it, I suppose, is the Asticle. And yes, Jen, I have now watched Norseman. It was pretty good.
Is that a show?
Yes, it's a show. Jen was telling us about it. You were there at the time.
I don't remember that.
Excellent. Josiah's memory, yeah. Okay,
So, I guess we're going to the Brick Barrow. Is that what you guys want to do now?
you're already at the Brick Barrow.
I guess we're at the Brick Barrow.
Yeah.
That we are.
Unless there was something more you want to ask the. I mean, he did also drop some further revelations. Aegis, or Aegis, or I'm going to call him Aegis just because of Persona 3 and Neva are also dead.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
Leaving
did say
only
that.
2 of the deposers left.
Yep.
Well, arguably, Sadira was the true hero of the series. She certainly was the one that was way the fucking most overpowered at the end, but that was only because of events that happened in it, so she's probably just a regular Joe right now.
Yeah. Plus,
And
you know,
fucking Tithian, of course he's still alive.
yeah. Well, it's Tithian. Everyone loves Tithian. He's like the Tunok, you know. Everyone loves Tithian.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Uh-oh, I just clicked on a bad spot on my screen and everything went to hell.
Well,
Well, my second screen, I mean.
and really, Sadira was only overpowered during the day. At night, she was kind of a pushover.
Okay, everything's fixed. Wait, is it? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Alright, cool.
Yes.
So what are we doing? Looked like
Well,
they
you're
sealed it up.
Yep.
But we're not supposed to go inside here, right?
Well, the note really wasn't specifically explicit, and Corin will kind of look around and see if there's anything unusual or if he feels eyes on him or anything like that.
All right, that'll be a perception check. Oh shit! In fact, yes, you do, Corbin. You do feel some eyes coming from down. You feel like there's someone who's been watching this area. Just out of the corner of your eye, you think you can see a small face poking around a corner, and it looks like it's coming further down one of the alleyways nearby.
If you look really hard, not to alarm, but I see over in that general direction, and he'll kind of indicate with his head. He won't point like, oh look, there's a person, but discreetly do that.
If only you had skywriting, then you could just use that to indicate where he was.
That's very true.
Just a big arrow made out of clouds pointing down.
So, what are you guys gonna do? I know Jen, if it was Jen, she would be attacking the girl right now, but
Tim is here.
he's with us in our hearts.
Guess.
In spirit. I'm sorry, I'm just distracted by something that's going on that will be over shortly.
Okay.
Does this figure seem menacing, or does it seem curious, or...
It seems like it's. I'll say with that amazing roll, you feel like it's observing you. It's not menacing per se, and the figure looks pretty small, like a child.
It's Spark.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, that's it. It's Spark. You're right, not Spark and freaking Haka, they were all brought back from the dead by Beheath. You're right,
Yay.
you're right. No one died.
No one dies.
Look,
Yay!
there's a decent amount of undead in this world. You never know.
I was
Free-willed
literally
undead.
just talking about the undead of this world. Oh, there's so many undead. It's wonderful. Yes, everyone lives.
What do we do now?
Ding.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, I just said it, you got the everyone lives ending, you guys.
Yay.
Yay! Well, judging from what I see, it might be a child or a girl or halfling or something in that range. I don't really think that it's malicious, but I can tell we're definitely being observed here.
All right. All of you make a stealth check because she's been observing you, or at this point I'm gonna say, yeah, you know it's a she, has been observing you this entire time, and so let's see if you can make. Oh shit. Okay. Well, looks like
I vanish.
yeah, you basically just become a ghost. You solid snake it straight up. What about you, Josiah?
He's a mystic.
Oh, Nox.
There is actually in the immortal path a power called celerity that allows you to be invisible while you move.
Yeah, goddamn, seriously, that thing is powerful. Again, that's why I had to pick up I sort of up the ante with the other guy. Speaking of which, Josiah, if you were actually there.
I heard something about that clicking. We may have lost him.
That, or he's forgotten to push the button again for push to talk. Or he's muted himself.
Or he's trying to convince you to reinstall Discord.
Fuck that.
Beat me to it by half a second.
Hey guys. Wait. Shit. Hey guys, what's going on?
Okay, so what was happening there, Josiah?
You tell me. I was waiting for you guys to say something.
Okay, is this where you try and joke and trick us into thinking that, you couldn't hear us the entire time?
Yeah, this is when that is, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Did you forget
So-
to push the button or something?
I had the fucking somehow if I have the OBS window selected when I push my button to talk,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sound for some reason. And so as long as I have any other window highlighted, it's fine. But if I accidentally click on the OBS window and then I forget, then I'm sitting here pushing the button and nothing's happening.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I was just saying everyone needs to make a stealth check to... So you're the last one who needs to make a stealth check. Though with Sinclair's stealth, he can probably cover for you, barring, something horrible. Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad, but thankfully Sinclair's sort of able to get himself in the way of you and the little girl. He knows that you're not the most subtle person, Jomo, and he gets in the way of you and the girl, such that he's talking to you, and you're able to cover, and she doesn't realize that you've picked her up yet. So,
How
What do you
far away is she?
she is about 100 feet away.
Once Knox pointed her out, do we all kind of see her and see where she is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and focus on telepathic contact and just send her a message that it's safe. You don't have to hide from us.
Okay.
Yeah, it's some bullshit, right? Tim?
You do so, and she immediately books it. You get this sense like someone's like, almost like the Metal Gear Solid just played, and she is running. So yeah,
I don't really see a need to chase her down. Personally, I mean, I'm not sure. Anybody
Make
else
an
is doing
insight check as well, though.
it. I could do that.
Okay. You get from what little contact your mind had made with hers, you have the sense that she wasn't there out of curiosity. She would have been sent there specifically to watch this area.
Fuck. Okay, then I've got to chase her.
All right, are you guys chasing her?
Is she looking back at all?
Well, she's gone around a corner now.
Jomo has no idea what's going on.
True to his character.
What's going on?
Well, I think that's possibly might have been the contacts for the sale, or involving this amethyst would be my guess, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure of that.
As Sinclair's taking off, he will say, "She was waiting for us," and I'm just full speed ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that confirms it, and Corwin will follow.
All right. You guys run down into these back alleyways. Unfortunately, she had, as I said, a good 100 feet ahead of you. So I'm going to need you all to make some perception checks.
Perception checks.
Yep. Okay. Corwin, you would detect the sound of little feet running, and such you were able to narrow it down to a nearby alleyway, which you quickly cross into to find this. A small market alley that appears to still be operating, with one extremely ominous as fuck motherfucker standing over there in one corner. Seriously,
This
dude.
looks nice.
Yeah, this looks shady as anything.
Anyways, but you are absolutely certain the little girl was in here, but she must have run into one of these nearby buildings.
I say we go to the one with the big skull on it.
Is this the Elven Market, perhaps?
I would say that, yeah, you would know for a fact that no, this is not the Elven Market. The Elven Market would be in the Warrens. This is the exact other side of the city.
Okay. So there's only the one intimidating person and not anyone else in the immediate vicinity?
Just some people further down the alley. It looks like that, again, there's still a small amount of commerce going on here, but even this area is pretty emptied out, though you question whether this area ever would truly be bustling. This doesn't look like a place where they take the families to go down or anything like that.
And we didn't see in which building she went.
No.
And I'm assuming there's no prints on the ground or anything like that that would give that away. Didn't think so.
Unfortunately, the ground is tiled, so no prints.
It's like that old saying, child's floors hide a child's feet.
That's a saying?
Sure. That old Athasian saying, yeah.
Who hasn't heard that?
Is that an old saying from, like, approximately 5 seconds ago when you made it up? Hashtag
Yeah.
making shit up?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. It's a good one. It's a good one.
So,
Jomo's just kind of following along with the other two, like, not really sure what's happening. I don't think Jomo ever even saw the girl or anything.
Jomo is the best tracker.
The best.
Okay.
Well, okay, so the closest guy is this ominous-looking
Yep.
MFer. Well, I'm going to approach this guy.
All right, you do so. He sort of stands there. Hello?
Is he selling something? Is it what's his stall got?
I'm selling weapons. Are you purchasing?
Good afternoon. Yes, my colleagues and I are interested in selling some weapons of our own. Is there any chance you may be interested in purchasing them?
Now, if you want to buy, you want someone to buy, you go to the tarnish. I've had enough about damn refugees attempting to pair off their gear here. Also, you can tell looking up closer, this guy appears to be a tiefling. Hence explaining the glowing eye.
I feel like your mic is kind of in a bad way right now.
Sorry, how about now?
Better.
Sorry about that. Okay. I'm not buying anything from. I'm sorry, not interested. Now, is there anything else I can help you with? Otherwise, make room. I have customers.
Yes, failing that, we're looking to speak with someone named Ven, excuse me. Do you happen to know Ven?
You are here to see Ben.
Yes.
All right, he's gonna look the three of you over, and you know Ben. Do you have any proof of this?
The fact that I knew his name and where to ask to find him?
Oh, you knew his name and where to ask to find. Well, that clearly proves it. You couldn't be a Templar at all. Why not just go ahead? I mean, you said you aren't Templars or anything, so obviously you can't be one.
Do we seriously look like Templars?
You could be a lot of things. Mercenaries for hire. I need some proof that you actually know that.
You know, if you ask us if we're Templars, we legally have to tell you the truth.
You realize I'm also not stupid, right?
It is known.
I will, who's got the mercenaries note? I know we kept it. Let's dig it out.
I'm gonna stab this guy.
Okay.
Look, would a Templar just randomly stab you?
Yes, actually a Templar would because they're corrupt as fuck.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't the best plan.
Only Beheef's allowed to stab tieflings.
Yeah, it's true, it's true. License to stab tieflings.
Does anyone in particular have the mercenaries note of us, or is it like a
I
communal?
have you guys as having kept it, so yeah, you dig it out and you show it to him. He looks over it. He looks over at you guys, and he's like, "This wasn't written by Ven, but you're Skerver. You're with that lot. All right, fine. You see that sign there with the S down there? That looks like an S.
Yes.
Of course, Jomo would have no damn idea what an S is, I imagine.
Yeah, Corin would look down the alley and kind of, move his head and squint, and yeah, he'd be able to see that.
Right in there. Just knock on the door. Say whatever it is you've got to say, and they'll let you in. Or you'll be killed. One of the two.
Where that place at you said we could sell stuff?
The Tarnished Cup. It's further in. But I suggest you deal with Ven first if you really do have business with him. Otherwise, well, if word gets round that you're looking for him and you're not immediately clarifying why.
Well, how would word get around? The only one that we've told is you.
Right. He's just looking at you like this should follow why, then how word would get around.
All right, I'm going to walk away without saying anything. Why do I hate everyone that lives in Athos? But I just do, all of them.
There's a lot of assholes in Athos. Well, hey, not all of them though. There was the nice dwarven. There was the nice guy at the Beast Market. There was the nice merchant and the other guy in Detir or
No, I
Distra.
hate them too. Yeah. No.
Yeah, the headsman of
The thing
Distra
is,
wasn't
you
bad.
gotta ask him why he hates everybody who lives on Earth. To get to the bottom of that.
Well, the good news is that you didn't try and lip off like you would with other figures of authority, because again, that could have ended badly. But yeah, this guy is not a likable sort. He's not someone who you want to be, best chums with, sort of thing. Anyways, so yeah, so you're going down to the place where marked with the S looking.
Yes,
sign?
sir.
Yes.
Okay. So you walk up, and indeed there does appear to be a door there in a corner. What do you do?
Knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door, and for a good solid minute, there's nothing.
Well, we did our best. I sell the amethyst to the nearest merchant who wants it. And what do you guys want to do now?
All right.
toss-
Do you actually say that?
No.
Does this door seem trapped at all?
Make an investigation check if you want to see if it's trapped. I mean, you don't think there'd probably be a trap door right in the middle of a marketway, but yeah, this door isn't trapped.
Okay, it just seems like a particularly shady area that, yeah. And is this building look like a market building, or is it like a abode of some sort?
It looks more like an abode. It's behind these market stalls. So yeah, this one looks more like an abode.
I'm gonna kind of, not exactly yell, but speak loudly at the door. We're looking for Ven. We got something you want.
You hear some movement now on the other side of the door. What?
Not gonna say it out there in the street.
You hear some hushed murmuring from inside, and then you hear the sound of the door unbolting.
I'll step back and see what happened.
Well, the door just stays closed. It's unbolted. It doesn't appear they're opening for you.
Jomo's gonna try to open it.
Okay, you do so. And you open the door, and right behind the door, you see a half-giant standing there.
Nice.
Well,
Are you Ven, then?
Ven's further in. I'm just here to make sure no trouble's caused.
Oh, well, then you definitely shouldn't let us in.
I said you could go in.
Okay.
All right.
My thanks, and Corin will go ahead and head further in.
All right. You step through this old structure. It's dingy. There's the smell of smoke hanging in the air, and you can hear a bit of chuckling over in one corner. And finally, you reach one room. It's a large room, which is relatively nicely adorned. It's got, like, the rug you can see is pretty nice quality. There's a large desk, and sitting at the desk is this guy.
He seems friendly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that a mule?
That is a dwarf. Oh, shit.
Yeah, dwarves are also hairless in this world.
Well, mules, on the other hand, may not be hairless. They're not. One second. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. It's just dwarves that the thing gets hair. Sometimes mules will actually have hair. It's just that mules have issues growing hair sometimes. It's the thing with, hybrid genetics and all that. You sometimes have some issues. Anyways. So, I heard you have something for me. Now.
We do. It's a sacred flame!
Now, before you tell me, though, tell me one thing. Who in the fuck are you? Because you sure as fuck ain't any of my regular guys.
No, we're strangers far from home. Just passing through. We happen to pass through some southern areas recently.
Your regular guys are dead.
Okay, his eyes were perking up with almost like appreciation at Corwin for having the sort of subtlety that he expects, this sort of thing. And then he looks over Jomo, and his eyes just sort of narrow because that was not subtle at all. Which guys? I have a lot of guys.
Just show him the note.
Well, and Corwin will kind of hand it out to him that apparently things went south down south, as you see.
He snatches a note from you, looks at all of you, then he looks down at the note. Well, they're all dead then, huh?
There was nothing left in that manor when we had gotten there. It was, nothing living anyway.
Shit. Well,
we found Scurver. I don't know who Bick and Sienna are or Grok, but we may have found them too. There were a lot of bodies.
Stories about Raha are true. Well, then again, if they were true, you wouldn't be standing here. So that must mean, if you found this note, why have you come here? Unless you have something for me.
The stories that you've heard are true, and the fact that we're standing here should tell you something. But more to the point, we succeeded where Scurver failed, and thought you might be interested.
Well, then, let me see it.
Corwin will go ahead and dig through his pack and produce the amethyst in question.
Alright, his eyes light up as he sees it, and he holds out his hand for it. Give it here.
Don't hand it to him till we have a deal.
He's right. We didn't go through all of that trouble and all of those sandstorms and endless miles for, charity.
Fair enough. And I wouldn't be asking you. I'm an honest man. So, what you have there, I have no doubt you probably surmised, is the family jewel of the Nee family. That was fucking horrible. And he just sort of spits as he says this. Anyways. So I'm willing to pay a fair price for it. Specifically, I'm willing to pay you this. And his hand goes to a coin purse and pulls out more coin than any in one place than any of you have seen in your entire lives. You would say, Corwin, now you've dealt with volumes. I should say Corwin has seen volumes like this, but never, for him. There's well over 100 enamel pieces that are being offered here. 150 enamel pieces for a job well done, then, for completing what Grok and all weren't able to do.
Corbin will raise his eyes as he, takes a look at the sum and that, and he wouldn't suspect that this was any sort of a false currency, would he?
No, the currency looks. I mean, again, it's literally just pieces of bone that have been enameled. It's kind of hard to falsify it. So, you think it's pretty true, though. I would say make an insight check, or make an insight check. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. So, Corwin, you know, however, that the amount that he's offering is not that amethyst that you have is probably worth at least 500 enamel pieces. Now, you can't expect to get the full 500 from this guy, but still, 150 is a bit of a steep discount that he's offering.
Well, that is a nice start, I must say, but, I have a bit of experience in the merchanting trade, and I can tell that this particular piece is quite the fine gem. I mean, I imagine there would be tons of merchants that would be quite interested in getting hold of this.
Well, first off, good eye. I like that. Second off, though, reread that note. What does that say about crossing me?
Oh, no, I wasn't saying crossing you at all, but just saying that lots of people would be quite interested in it for that amount, and perhaps a bit more compensation would be...
Most people won't have any idea how to move a stone like that. I, on the other hand, already have buyers lined up. So, unless you're planning to try and fuck me, which, let me assure you right now, you don't want to do, you'll be selling that to me. Now, if you want to try and negotiate another price, maybe we could do that. I, after all, want this to be an amicable dealing. I find that often helps with more coin in the future.
As would I, indeed. There's no need for any actual deception on anyone's part, of course, but yes, a bit higher price would be much appreciated for such a fine treasure as this.
Well then, how much exactly were you hoping to receive for it?
I'm gonna try a thing, Scito.
Oh, here we go.
Trying a thing. Sinclair's gonna look at him in the eye and ask him just one question.
Okay.
What's the most you're willing to pay us for this?
Ooh, it's an exacting query.
Nice.
Alright, so he needs to make an intelligence saving throw. $21.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, he saves.
Alright, on successful save the target is unaffected, you cannot use this ability on it again until alright, make an insight check to see if you're able to at least make it so he doesn't realize what you just tried to do. If you care to hide it, at least. Yeah, if you don't care that he would find out that you tried to probe his mind.
No, I would want to try and hide that.
Okay, I would say that's good enough. So, he looks at you and he then just sort of shakes his head. Most I'm willing to pay, that's why I asked. I find it's fair to let the other party begin with negotiations like these.
Of course, Corin will say, being, again, of merchant stock myself, it does give you an advantage, and you would seem to have the advantage here. And Corwin will give him a respectful nod. What would you say for such a lovely treasure that's been hidden for, 50 years now? What about 350 enamel?
I like you. But no chance in the deep hells am I going to be paying that. You have to think about it. I still have to sell this thing off, get it, see what my buyers want. I may have to have it cut down, so I'll tell you what. I'll give you 200 for it. And if you want to try and argue higher, then you can do so.
That's getting a bit closer, but we are quite far apart in our prices. Yeah. What would you say to splitting the difference and calling it 275? Again, this treasure's been locked away in a vault for decades.
All right, make a persuasion check.
Don't fail.
Oh wait, persuasion you said?
Yes.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
No! Use inspiration!
To be
Inspiration. Use inspiration, Knox.
yes, I am extremely inspired. I am so hashtag extremely
He's
inspired.
just like, you know what? Never mind. I'm just gonna kill you all.
So he survives you. I won't go that high, but let's say 225 final offer.
All right, you drive a hard bargain, but I'm willing to accept that.
All right. Then he throws a handful more coins into the pouch and then tosses over to you. Let's see her.
Corum, go ahead and grab the pouch with one hand and also toss the amethyst to him with the other.
All right. You do so, and he's like, so much for such a little thing. So, damn fine job. I have to give you credit, though. I don't know how the hell that you got out there, Grok and his lot didn't, but I'm glad we could come to an arrangement. Now, as the note did say, though, of course, was there anything else there in that vault?
I don't even remember what else was in the vault.
I'll also say make insight check, Nox, again. Okay. Nox, the other thing that was in the vault was the key to the actual store of treasure. But you get the sense that the amount that you could get paid from this guy for that treasure versus if you could actually find the treasure yourself the difference is massive. You would come out far better if you kept the key. However, you would be risking if this guy found out something bad. So it's your choice. But I would say that you'd be pretty certain that the differences in value would be astronomical.
Yeah, I imagine Corin would realize that. Corin will kind of, rub his jaw and think and go, when we went down into that place, there was a big statue of a halfling woman. Yeah, there was this undead abomination in there that we barely escaped.
The journal. There was the journal. Don't forget the journal.
The journal? What journal?
There was some empty pots and shit.
It was Skerber's journal, the man you sent.
Well, that's interesting because Skerver was a woman.
I couldn't tell anything about them from the state of their corpse.
Ew.
Yeah, that ghost really did a number on everybody's bodies.
It was a sight to behold, all right. Tangled vines all over, grabbing bodies, wrenching them around, just awful.
Well, look, I don't know if any of that's true, but hell, it wouldn't surprise me. Way I hear from those knee bitches, they were some horrible sorts.
Corin will nod and say, it was especially the father. I think the father was the one that really instilled it in him.
So you aren't going to correct him?
I have a feeling that he's not really the one that would be receptive to, historical disambiguities and getting straightened out.
That's a bit of an assumption there. This clearly is a fine dwarf, and a man who is clearly cultured, as you can see from that picture.
I feel like he's not going to believe us or care
Well,
if we
I'll
were
say,
to try to set the record straight with this guy.
make an insight check. Let's see what this guy actually would think. Okay. I'm going to say that you're right. He probably doesn't care, but there's probably coin to be made in something that would reveal the truth like that. In that, he could be very helpful.
I don't understand what you mean.
Well, you need to get this in the hand. You want to get that into the hands of someone who will set the record straight, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's probably those same people are likely willing to pay money for that, and for that sort of thing, he would probably be very willing to assist.
Really?
Again, he looks like a man who's motivated by money. He's got his mind on his money and his money on his mind.
I don't disagree with that at all. Well, you see, I think the father really kind of ingrained it in him. I think actually the two knee women, they really weren't as bad as they were made out to be. That they were just dealt a bad hand and kind of forced to go along with things and helped out where they could.
Why? Why do you say that?
We did find some papers and evidence that Zadini was actually trying to smuggle slaves out of the area and get them to safer places, especially children.
Did you? Well, he looks at you and he's sort of, he's disbelieving, but he's also very intrigued by the idea that you found document evidence of it. Well, that would be something. It sounds to me like you need a broker, which is actually good, because I also find myself in need of something.
And what might a fine man like you be in need of?
Well, as your friend elucidated from the fact that he couldn't even tell poor Skurver was a woman, I'm currently in need of some extra hands to assist me in various tasks I have. I used to leave such things to Grok and his group, but apparently they're no longer going to be of such assistance. Now, as you probably noticed, Tyr is a bit of a fucking mess right now. But if you agree to, let's say, be available for certain jobs I have, I could not only offer you the promise of more pay, but I could also maybe secure you some accommodations within the city, which I'll have you know at this time is not an easy thing. And what's more, I might even be able to find some people who might be interested in your documents. And I'll do that, you know what? Just as a sign of my good intentions, I'll do so for free.
Well, I'd say that's quite a rather generous offer. I would say this man is probably good to his word, and that he would, help us, find a business and that sort of thing.
Jomo don't like it.
Did you just say Jomo getting a blanket?
Well, no, but now that you mention it, I could use one.
Jomo cold.
Jomo don't like it. Jomo not want to work for this man.
I can assure you, you're not going to find any other accommodations within the city, nor any other work. The refugees have taken it all. On the other hand, you've already shown to me that you have some skill. Now, you can go and tell anyone else you want about that, but they probably won't believe you. And you're not going to be getting any work from them. So, the way I see it, I'm offering you a chance at survival at a time where survival is a very valuable commodity. What do you say?
I don't think he makes a bad offer at all. I mean, you saw Merchant's Way, or you saw Caravan's Way like I did, and The amount of refugees there was completely choked the city.
What kind of work?
Oh, just standard wet work, debt collection, helping to remind a few people around here who they owe money to, that sort of thing. Nothing that would strain your delicate sensibilities, I assure you.
Not doing that.
Well, that's fine, but in that case, I hope you enjoy not having a place to sleep and probably getting yourselves thrown out by the Templars in the next one. Look, I'm willing to be flexible on the sort of work I have. If you truly don't like the work I have to offer, you don't have to accept it. All I require is just at this time someone to know that I'll have someone ready for potential work. Is that really so much to ask?
Exactly. This man just wants us to be on call for anything that, possibly might arise. No guarantee of any work, but, granted, accommodations would be excellent, and we would be getting the word out about what really happened in Waraha.
Would we?
Again, if you don't like what the people I'll try and bring to you are selling, you don't have to. It's all up to you, friends, but as I see it, I'm offering you the best possible deal here.
It's a good deal, but I guess what you should understand, if it's not already obvious to you, is that this man, and Sinclair will point to Jomo, he's our conscience. So we won't be doing anything that he doesn't approve of.
That's fine. That's
I mean,
fine.
Jomo not opposed to killing. Just depend on who. You want us to go take out some scumbag gang boss or something, Jomo do that.
What?
He says to a scumbag gang boss.
Oh yeah, and I don't think he really meant to conceal the fact that he meant another scumbag gang boss.
Corin's going to kind of rub his temples and just be like,
Well, I have to say I like that sort of gumption. So, do we have a deal? And he extends one of his meaty hands out to you, Corwin.
Come on, you two, what do you say? I think this is our best shot at actually getting a room for the night at the very least.
I agree. I'm in.
Okay, as long as we got final say on who the documents go to.
Excellent. And Corin will go ahead and clasp his hand in a firm grip.
All right, and he shakes it, gives it a firm shake. Excellent, excellent. Now, there's another thing I've noticed. I'll put out word about your documents, about the truth of Raha and all that. I also noticed you look like you got a lot of stuff to sell. If I might make some suggestions where you can offload that.
We very much appreciate that.
Again, I find that business dealings that come from a place of good faith always do so much better, even if they do incur initial cost. In this case, my recommendation to you is if you want to sell those things, and he sort of looks over the various things, sacks and whatnot you're carrying, that you head to the Tarnished Cup. Just mention my name to Gavin Sewell. He's always in the mood for buying some things, and he'll give you a good price, I'm sure. As for accommodation, just head over to the Kankin Cart. It's right by the Beast Markets. I don't know if you saw it coming in, but Kusomo, my man there, he'll be sure to give you a good price on a room. Just make sure you let him know you're working there. Of course, I'll also let him know myself.
Thank you, Ven. As a show of good faith, do you know the tiefling that works the market at the edge of this alley?
Yeah, that's Jarg. Why?
Well, just so you know, Jarg made it very clear to us when we spoke to him that he is the sort that happily passes around information about your dealings, your business, and who goes to and from your base of operations. I'm not sure if that's something that you're aware of, but if not, now you know.
Just cross that guy out.
He sort of looks at you and he says, that is very interesting to know.
You
That's
got some kind of proof that we're working for you? Because if we're going to tell these people you sent us, they're going to say, oh, how do we believe you?
Trust me, they'll believe you. People don't lie about working for me in this town. If they do, they don't last long.
Okay.
Well, I'm so glad we could have this meeting, and I can already see that business partnership will prove quite fruitful. So, off you go, my friends. I apparently have to make some arrangements.
Floral arrangements?
Yeah, it's floral arrangements.
After we leave, he puts down his whatever gang boss accoutrement and just starts doing floral arrangements. He puts on some nice music.
He's the bad dude from The Town. I don't know if you guys saw that movie, but yeah, basically just a florist that's also a badass gangster.
All right, and as he's saying this, the half giant, he sort of walks by the room and he's sort of looking at you expectantly.
Well, my thanks, and here's to a profitable partnership. And Corwin will give a respectful nod and head back out toward the exit.
Okay. You exit, and the door closes behind you, and you quickly hear a bolting. So, you've now been given 2 locations. You've been given a place that's called the Tarnished Cup. I will also say that in that thing he gave you directions so that you can get there with ease, as well as a place to stay called the Kankin Cart. So where do you want to go first? And you've also found yourselves 225 enamel pieces richer.
Most definitely.
That's pretty good.
Not a bad day's work. And by bad day, I mean bad 750 miles or whatever it was.
650, but close.
Is the Tarnished Cup close to here?
The Tarnished Cup is... Let me just double check. It is indeed. I mean, it's about equidistant to where the Kankin Cart is from here. So you can go to either place. Oh no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. No, the Tarnished Cup is much closer to here. I was looking at the wrong area.
Well, I don't know about you two, but I'm getting a bit weary of lugging this extra stuff around. Perhaps we ought to go to the Tarnished Cup first.
Jomo agree.
Yeah, let's head there first.
Yeah, and Corin would head down, given those directions, in the direction of the Tarnished Cup.
Okay. And you head down there. And you come to this small shop. You're right now in an area that's known as the Smiths District. And it's generally considered one of the poorer districts, aside from the Warrens themselves. This is, one of the sort of scummier districts. But you see this nice little building. It's actually surprisingly well appointed, all things considered.
Hold on a second. Who's carrying the 225 coins?
I assume Corwin was.
Well, he does have the bag, or was given the bag, shall we say. I imagine it would not be really a good idea to redistribute that in the street.
Yeah, I think Jomo would just say, make sure you keep tight hold on that the whole time as we walk down the street. Don't take your hands off it.
Most definitely.
All right.
And I imagine Corin would have that in his pack and, that kind of thing, pretty well tucked away.
Yeah, not a bad idea. So you arrive at the Tarnished Cup, and you can, again, it's for the area, it's relatively well appointed. So you're just outside of it. What do you do?
Just start burning shit down. Oh, wait, let's sell our shit first, and then...
Nice.
Head inside. Let's get in there and start wheeling and dealing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we should, like, barter and bicker for every single individual item.
Nice.
Well, you can always do that. You can
You
always
see this strap, this shoulder strap on this leather armor that was expertly mended, obviously, by someone with a mending kit.
Yeah.
Glad we could come to a deal on this bone scimitar. Now let's talk prices on this bone scimitar.
Okay. So you walk inside, and the smell of incense rapidly fills your nostrils. It's not expensive incense, it's more of the cheaper stuff, but still, it's a nice touch to the place. And a tiefling standing at the counter says, "Ah, welcome, my friends. Welcome to the Tarnished Cup. What can I do you for?"
Another tiefling?
I
Yes.
don't trust it.
Well, there's many of my brethren, I suppose you'd call us, in this part of town.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was asking you as GM for clarification.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he said that out loud. That would have been fucked up.
Fuck, another tiefling?
Christ.
Tiefling again? Whoa there, Jimmy. This isn't your grandpa's tieflings. No,
Some of that fine tiefling food.
but yeah, it is indeed another tiefling. This area, I'll say that, Corwin, you do know that the Smiths District, like the Warrens, there's a fair number of tieflings in both places, as tieflings don't tend to be able to get much work elsewhere. Like half-elves, they're subject to a lot of prejudice.
Oh, maybe Jomo would feel sympathetic toward them then.
Including the one that I just love how you just. I mean, there's that one guy out there who's talking about your business. Oh man, that's amazing.
I'm just informing the man about something that factually occurred. I wasn't going for any particular end result.
Uh-huh.
I was demonstrating my loyalty by giving him information, which is perhaps the most valuable currency.
Oh, could you all give me your inspiration amounts just quickly? I forgot to update that with the last.
I have
is-
6.
Okay.
I have 2.
And Josiah, you have 6.
I have 6.
And how much HP? I know that Jomo's full, Corwin is full. How much HP do you have, Sinclair?
15 out of 20.
19? Or is it
15, 1-5.
out of...
20.
Oh, it's 20 now?
Yeah, that's the immortal. Gives you
Okay.
extra points.
Awesome. See, you're already getting payout from that. Now,
Yep.
your first attempt to use an immortal power didn't work out so well, but,
Actually, that's the one power I took that is not on the immortal path.
Oh, well, okay. Anyways, here, so, come in. Have a look at my fine wares, and he presents his wares to you.
Yes, sir. My name's Sinclair. This is Jomo, and this is my friend Corwin. We work for Ven. He sent us here, said that you would be the person to see about giving us the best deal for some things that we had to sell.
I think you'll find I'll be one of the only people in town who will give you a deal. Most other people, they aren't accepting stuff anymore. Refugees have just inundated the market, but I'm always able to find a good purchase price, I find, so I'm still buying. And since Ven sent you, I'm sure I can get you a good deal. I'm sure I can. So what exactly is it that you like to sell or buy, I might note?
Well, no, it looks like you have some good items here. Let me take a look.
Hey, look, there's a shovel, but we got one for free.
Yeah. And half of this dude's list is stuff that I promised we would buy, so I'm sure we're going to be we'll be spending some money here.
You can buy a signet ring. That'll help you.
Yeah, I don't think we should buy a small tent, though, because how many people fit in a small tent?
1.
Yeah. We should just find somewhere else that sells bigger tents.
Yeah, but I want the crowbar, and I want the hammer. I don't think we have any of those things, do we?
No.
Nope.
You can also get some silk fishing tackle.
I was looking at that.
Based on what you told me swims around the silt, I don't want to catch a goddamn thing from that place.
I don't want to go anywhere near silt.
Is there actually a Thasian fish, like a normal fish?
There are things that you can catch in silt that are edible, like siltworms. You can catch small siltworms, and those are indeed edible.
What's up, Fry Guy? How you doing? Fry Guy says we should get a small tent to set up in the big tent. Double tent.
Oh man, tent inside tent. Tentception.
That would be intense.
Oh
no. That one was pretty good, man.
That was the best one of the evening so far.
I'm reflexively go, oh, Nox, but that one was a legitimately good one, Nox. That was a legitimately good one.
Thank you.
You could also get a ladder. Look at that, only three ceramic pieces.
Is that a rope ladder?
No, it's a regular ladder.
Okay, yeah.
Does it fold up or anything?
Yeah, this isn't like Space Quest 3 where you can just jam it in your pocket and it's fine, right?
No, it's a full-size ladder.
God, it weighs 25 pounds.
Carrying that on my back, guys. 10-foot ladder.
It's like having a pole. It's like having two 10-foot poles that are joined together. Think of the utility.
I don't really need his poor desert clothing or poor distillation kit either.
I don't want any of his stuff. I just want to sell him shit.
Well, okay, how do you want to do this, Scito? Should we
just tell me what
sum
you
up
want?
the stuff, or should we roleplay through everything? What do you prefer?
Just tell me what it is exactly you want to sell, and then I will calculate how much. So just first off, list what exactly you want to sell.
Okay, I have 3 bone scimitars and 1 set of leather armor.
I have 2 bone scimitars and 1 light crossbow.
I've got 5 light crossbows.
Okay, so that's 6 light crossbows. How many sets of leather armor?
Just the 1, I think.
Just 1.
Okay, and how many bone scimitars?
I believe 5, 3 from me, 2 from Josiah.
Okay.
Yeah, 5.
Is there anything else? Let's see. Let me look down your lists. Oh, you've also got that chest that you found.
Oh yes, the crystal chest with lazurite.
Yeah.
There's also some fine wine bottles.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, you've actually got a fair amount of stuff that you could sell. Yeah.
But I will also want to, at least in the mix, I want the crowbar and the hammer.
Okay. Well, let's first get this saddled. So, Nox, what are you going to sell the chest? And also, are you going to... Has the chest been relocked, or is it still open? Because the question is, do you want him to know what is inside it, or do you want to present a mystery chest to him? Because lazurite isn't worth a lot, but a mystery chest...
Jen, Athos is like Texas. There's no amount of light crossbows that's too many.
Do I have the sense that I would be able to sell a mystery chest for more?
Make an insight check.
Mystery chest.
Yes, you do. You have this because lazurite, it would be an unknown quantity, and that stuff, when you felt it before, it felt like it was full of coins or something. So, yeah, you could probably, if you passed it off, you could probably sell for more. I mean, it might be what one might call unethical, but, you know.
Hold the fuck on. If you're gonna do that, take the lazarite out, fill it with some bullshit that's not worth anything, relock it, and... You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're in the shop right now, so that'd be kind of...
I'll be right back.
And I imagine the lazurite itself isn't worth much, you said, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably, I'd say for all the lazurite, you could probably get a few enamel pieces for it, but not much.
Mystery chest scam artist is what Jen says we should become. That's such a great idea. Now that I thought about it, just get little things that can be locked and put just rocks in there and lock it and be like, mystery chest.
And then you can count how many days before an angry mob hunts you down and murders you.
Yeah, I guess if you did it more than once, people would realize you're scamming them.
Yeah. Like, you could probably get away with it once, and they'd be like, oh, okay, you probably didn't know yourself, but you do it multiple times, well...
Yeah, or at least not to the same person, or not to the same person in a city, or something.
We could at least sell at least one scam mystery chest in each town that we come to, though. Would be really welcomed back, too.
True. Yeah, and I would say, like, the chest, in terms of just being able to pack it, I can't imagine that it would really be opened, like, without potentially breaking. So, yeah, I would say it would have probably locked during the course of, or closed during the course of this adventure.
Okay, so it's relocked then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's your choice. Do you want to try and sell it as a... Do you want to try and sell it? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, I want to hear Corwin's actual sales pitch for the mystery chest.
I absolutely do too. Because you are going to have to make a deception check on this one.
Of course.
So,
Okay.
you bring the chest out.
Yeah. So I imagine after we've gotten, weapons upon weapons and, all that sort of stuff, and I would imagine probably the fine wine bottles as well, if this seemed to be a place.
And how many of those do you have?
2.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they're not poisoned wine.
It's true. That's good. Then you would definitely not be getting some return business there.
Exactly. Of course, then you'd be able to do business with the person that would take over the place after the former person died.
You see the scam already. Just keep getting new owners for the shop, or have freaking... oh, never mind. Anyway.
I'm just going to keep telling Ben. Look, just so you know, there's a guy going around.
Here we go, the guy going around thing.
He's spreading all your, info. And I'm worried about it. I'd love to work for you, but as long as this guy is spreading all your business around, I don't see myself being able to put that out of my mind.
There's a guy going around. He's murdering shopkeepers of places named after drinking vessels. It's very specific. And I've been keeping that guy at bay this whole time. I just constantly guide him away from the Tarnished Cup. But if I have to worry about how much funds I have, then I can't really devote my full attention to that, and who knows what could happen.
Oh, man. You guys, you're so silly.
Josiah, have you ever told your stream the origin of the guy going around story?
I don't know if I have. I'm pretty sure I've riffed on the guy going around thing on my stream before, but I don't know that I ever really talked about the origins.
Let's save it for the future, I guess. But anyway, okay.
All right. Well, what do you have there? That is a nice-looking chest. I've never seen one quite like it. What's in it? Or is it just empty?
No, there's something in it. We found this chest down south, actually quite wise down south there. And just happened to be sitting in a cave and dug it up and tried a bunch of keys on it and that type of thing, and, tried picking it a little, but, I'm not too good at that sort of thing, and, yeah, we need some coins, so might as well sell it off.
Well, I mean, I would definitely be interested in. So let's make your deception check now. No, let's just see how this is gonna go.
Yeah, and Corwin will like jostle a little bit and kind of make that nice, satisfying clinky clinky sound with the lazurite going. Yeah, I can tell there's something good in here, but
Jomo,
I can't get to the damn thing.
Are you gonna give him that big +1? Oh shit!
I don't think he needs it, but I don't really feel like Jomo knew he was about to do this in character, so he wouldn't have known to give him guidance.
All right. Well, yeah, that is pretty damn good. Let's see if he is able to freaking.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
doubt Jomo would abide the whole lying thing again.
Oh no, he doesn't have a problem with lying. I mean, he is not actually even good. He's just, oh, it looks like you did it.
What?
I mean, if that was his roll against Nox's 26, I'm assuming.
He did it. Yeah, Nox successfully. Well, okay then. I mean, the chest alone, I would be willing to pay 25 enamel piece for that, but with whatever could be in there, let's say 50 enamel pieces.
Holy shit. Good job.
Corwin kind of nods to himself and it's like, yeah, might as well, not sure exactly, what's in it, as I said, but yeah, you know what, I can settle on 50, and, if you win the lottery with this, all the best to you.
Well, thank you, and he sort of, he basically tosses you some coin, and he just grabs it greedily, and he's just looking it over, like, he's just one. Oh man, when he opens that up and he finds out what's inside there, he's gonna be so pissed.
No, I didn't say that out loud, Fry Guy.
It's like that. It's like an episode of Storage Wars, where they're at the lockers over there and they open it and, oh, what's in here?
You can't enter inside the storage. Why? Wait, why the fuck can't we enter inside? Is there like a law that says that? No, but we just don't let you do it because... Why don't we let him do it? It's because it makes it more entertaining. That seems stupid as fuck. It is. And Barry, what are you doing? I'm right now having to drink water out of a thimble because I've lost everything else. But I'm still beloved by everyone.
Pretty much.
I hate myself that I even know that much about this stupid fucking show to make that joke.
Yeah, it sounds like you're pretty well acquainted with it.
Yeah.
It's so many times I've walked into a room and that's on in the goddamn background. It's annoying as shit.
I was forced to watch it once by my mom, and
yeah, that
covering.
Who do you think I would walk into the room of, and that would be playing in the background? Fucking goddamn that show. That is a horrible show. I don't understand why people watch those things. Okay, so you guys...
Yeah, it is a little bit weird to me too, but...
I think it's just, that, the unknown. Oh, what might be in here? Oh, let's see what's in here. Like lottery tickets, that kind of thing.
Yeah, except, it's with people who probably couldn't pay it, and thus it's, always steeped. It's almost always going to be steeped in tragedy because it essentially came from a person who died or just couldn't pay to keep their goods, and they were already probably not in a great place to have to keep their stuff in a storage locker.
Pretty much.
Even if you did get something good out of the storage locker, then you gotta know how to sell it, where to sell it, who to sell it to. You gotta transport it around. You gotta do something with all the other crap that isn't useful. You gotta go there to the actual place to bid on the locker in the first place. You gotta look through the locker, and it's probably all sliggany and gross in there, and smell bad, and full of dust, and God knows what. And then you gotta load a bunch of shit on your truck. I mean, it's like a whole big hassle.
So I'm back. Why are we talking about Storage Wars?
Oh, because Nox decided to mention it, sort of triggered us.
That the locked the mystery chest was be like Storage Wars.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's a good one.
But anyways, yeah, he made 50 enamel pieces off of the mystery chest.
Nox, you're raking in the enamel pieces.
How much is he
Indeed.
going to pay us for all the other random junk? Now, remember, these weapons have been just repaired and cleaned.
Okay, well, again, for the others, and he pulls out an abacus and he begins adding up the various bits here and tallying. I would say I could give you 15% of their value, so I'll give you 50 enamel pieces for all the lot.
15%? Is that a lot? Shawa doesn't even know what 15% means.
15%, that's basically like a seventh of our value, basically. So we'd have to, well, you'd need 7 times the amount of what we had. Another 6 times to make the full value.
That doesn't sound good.
No, I'm sure we could come to a little bit more of a profitable arrangement.
Well, I'm all ears. What percent do you think it's worth? I will know I am one of the few people in town who will actually be willing to buy stuff like this, including stuff that very clearly has just been in someone else's hands. As I'm assuming none of you are named Candy, and he's specifically pointing to one of these scimitars that has a word Candy carved into the side.
Look, it's no business of yours what my mother used to call me when I was a child. But that being said, I suggest to my friends that on the promise of future business dealings that perhaps would have more favorable exchanges, that we should go ahead and agree to this one-time 15% deal.
But if we agree to it now, why would he ever give us more than that later?
I think there's nothing that a merchant loves so much as a repeat customer. And I think he'd probably also be willing to throw in the crowbar and that hammer there as well.
All right, I'll throw in the crowbar and hammer for 50 enamel pieces for the lot of the stuff. What do you say? Corbin, I'll say that you still think that this is... You don't even have to make a roll for this one. You still think... 15%, that's really freaking low.
Yeah.
Your average shop is going to usually be buying stuff for from a third to half of what it's worth, depending on where you are. So that's a pretty low price. Some places will even go as high as like 75 to near market price. So 15%, it's pretty clear he's taking advantage of the fact that there's a lot of people who want to sell things, but,
Yeah, and I was considering that sort of an argument that, I get that, that it's a buyer's market right now, given that all the refugees have come to the city and such, but 15%, surely you can go somewhere around a third.
a third, well... Okay, crazy bag. Let's talk about this. So, make a perception check, Knox. Not perception, but persuasion. Yes. Okay, that's not great, but let's see how he does. Like I need to... Oh, well, looks like he's pretty convinced. All right. I can't go as high as a third, but I'll give you 25% of its value. How about that?
Corin will kind of hesitate for a moment and, kind of nod to himself and go, considering the environment of Tyr and what my associate was saying about, being a repeat customer and all, I'll accept 25% this time.
How much is 25% more than 15?
Well, Jim, like I was saying, that 15% is basically you'd need an extra, 6 times the amount of stuff you need. For 25%, you only need 3 times the extra amount there.
Oh, that's good then.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'll pay you 76 enamel pieces for the lot, but I'm not throwing in the hammer and the crowbar.
Well, I certainly hope you would hand them to us gently. Yeah, don't throw them.
I mean, the hammer and the crowbar are only worth 2.6 enamel
I know.
if you bought them, so...
So yeah. So
75 with the hammer and the crowbar. How about that? Everyone leaves happy.
Everyone leaves happy. Nice.
Fine. You got it. 75 for the hammer and the crowbar and all the stuff. So he passes you the sack of coin with another 75 enamel pieces, and as well as a hammer and a crowbar, and then takes all your other gear, as well as the 2 fine wine balls, which he sort of looks over appreciatively.
We probably just got screwed on that wine. But,
Well,
whatever. We
yeah,
don't know how much the wine's worth, so...
If no one else is, I'll reach for the hammer and crowbar to stow them away in my gear if nobody else does.
Yeah, I'm presuming he gave you the coin on that one.
So am I correct in my assumption that that 75 is on top of the 50 he already paid for the box?
It sure is.
All right, cool. So we actually got 125.
Suddenly, you guys have enough for a mount, if you still wanted to buy one. Though there's probably other things you also want to consider buying.
Now, this is a pretty nice establishment you've got here, Have you ever considered that some paintings might help spruce up the decor in here?
I was waiting for this. I am amazed that it took this long.
I figured Corin would get the rest of the stuff out of the way and then go for it.
That was probably the best idea to have there, because this might sour him forever on you guys. Well, paintings? You didn't say you had any objet d'art? Let me see. What you got there?
Objet d'art?
Wow.
Objet d'art, as in
I know. I just love the idea of a tiefling saying that.
Yeah, some pawn shop owner saying that.
Well, this guy clearly styles himself as being more refined than your average pawn shop owner.
Also, reading the little description you have here of the tarnished cup, it's unclear to me whether or not these goods are legitimate.
That's the way he likes it, to make sure that no one is sure. So let me also remove from the list. And so no one else wants to buy a ladder? Just want to make sure?
I think we can pass on the ladder for this
Okay.
time.
Okay, no one's going to buy the ladder. That's all right. You won't need that.
I do appreciate how art is imitating reality here, where an ounce of ink is costing 9 EP. Ink is the most expensive shit in the world.
Ink and dyes, they are pretty expensive, yeah. I mean, the most expensive thing here... Oh, actually, yeah, it's even more expensive than the signet ring. Yeah, holy shit. All right, so... let me see what you got there. Come on.
Well, you see, we were down in the southern sands here, and, it was quite a trek to get back up to Tyr, and, I just happened to create some masterpieces chronicling our adventures and so forth. And Corwin will bring out the paintings. This one here is fine, taken upon against the sand dunes, and he'll show the desert rat one off.
All right, and the exact same thing happens as before. The eyes light up when he first starts seeing the painting coming out, because it is really a masterwork. But then the rat comes into the painting. And then that look of magic and wonder just sort of fades away and just is replaced with confusion and just sort of, what?
Surely you were aware of the great icon, the desert rat, and the endless journeys across the sand and thriving in the wastes.
No, I'm not. Why would you paint... what is this even? What... What?
I mean, take a look at it. That's, you see the great majestic contours of the desert, and you see the rat stalwartly facing the challenges of the climate and thriving there, as you see, just ever so proudly displayed, just in the thrust of the hip and the gesture of the claw, and just the stride of the gait.
All right, make a persuasion check, Nox. And you already know what the DC is on this damn thing. That is good, but it's not enough. Because we've both talked over what you need to get if you want someone to buy these damn paintings. Yeah, I don't think so. Look, you're clearly a talented artist, and if you painted literally anything else, I might be willing to buy it from you. But I don't want pictures of rats.
Okay, I've got a painting of an anal prolapse here then. You said anything else.
Great.
Do you actually have a painting of an anal prolapse?
I've got customers that would buy that.
Look, people in this part of town, they're not the most, Look, I'm really not interested. Why don't you just try taking it to that weirdo out by the Wanderer's Chronicle or something? I'm sure he'd be willing to buy some weird shit like this.
What is Wanderer's Chronicle?
Oh, it's a shop that sells books. You know books. And he sort of looks over at you, Joe, and says, or, well, maybe you wouldn't, but yeah, they have all sorts of things like that.
Where is it?
It's over in the Caravan District. It's closer to Iron Square, I'd say. It's nice and tucked away. You could probably still get it to. I know that the Caravan weighs murder right about now, what with all the mourners and all that.
No, it definitely is. Even just setting foot in the entire way is feeding on itself.
You don't have a map of Tyr, do you?
Unfortunately, I actually just sold my last map of Tyr. Afraid I don't have one.
Okay.
Now, I see you weren't really interested in the rats, but perhaps you'd be interested in this one of the voles dining
Okay.
up against the Caravan.
Please stop showing me picture. Why are you showing me a picture of voles eating rotten fruit? And there's a dead. Why is there a dead mount? Why is there a dead? What is that even? A crawdadoo? What the fuck? Why would you show this to me?
Perhaps you'd be interested in this one of the voles dining. I mean, come on.
But look at how the evening sun streaks across, and you see the voles and the rotten fruit juxtaposing the grim conditions of the Athasian landscape, of man's struggle to survive against the plight of the wilderness.
All I'm seeing right now is my desire not to have you thrown out of my shop. I'm really please leave right now, please.
Picasso had a blue period. Corwin has a rodent period. I don't understand this guy's problem.
Joke's on him when he opens up the mystery box and there's just a bunch of little micro paintings of rats in there.
Great.
Yeah, look, please, just I have other customers. He has no other customers, but he very clearly would like you to leave his establishment.
Fair enough, but just one question. Anything in particular you would like to see painted?
Well, I wouldn't say no to I don't know, myself. I love a good painting of myself on the wall.
I suppose that's a rather fair answer, though it's somewhat plain. No rats or voles, I'm presuming, or any other rodents.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I will also.
How about yourself holding a ferret?
All right.
Can we agree on a marmoset?
Look, I appreciate the sentiment, but really, I need to tally my words, and I need to see about someone to get this box open. So
Oh, God.
I'm
You've
good.
got to agree to paint his portrait, and then just paint and paint and paint, and then finally show it to him, and it's just a painting of a rat in his clothes.
Well, if
That
you
would
can,
be amazing.
okay, you can try and persuade him to stay to let you paint him if you really want to do that.
Would Corwin be able to paint him from memory?
You could try, yeah. It'd be a harder DC, but you could try, yeah.
Could Corwin conjure a minor illusion of him and paint that?
That would probably make it no easier to paint. In fact, it would probably make it harder to paint him, so you'd also be concentrating on the illusion. Also, again, Knox, what happened the last time we summoned a minor illusion?
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. I was about to say minor illusion doesn't require concentration, but you got a good point there.
Yeah. Remember how freaking Sinclair almost got killed by an arrow and you almost died plummeting off a cliff?
Yeah, but he could do it in a private room or something.
But again, it would not help at all with the actual painting, since you'd still have to be creating the illusion from memory.
That's a good point.
Fair enough, but perhaps another time then.
Sure, another time. Thanks for the box again. And he's really looking at Slade. Also the wine. Oh.
My thanks. It looks to be a nice label, and Corwin will nod and head out of the shop.
Okay. So you guys are now, in the course of these two places, you're what, 350 enamel pieces richer?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I personally took that I had 75. I'm not sure where the rest of it is. I think Knox probably has it.
Yeah.
So yeah, now you guys aren't so ridiculously poor anymore.
And not so ridiculously overburdened.
Yeah, there's that as well. So, he gave you the name of a place, so you might want to try, and it's a place you actually know, Corwin. You've heard of the Wanderer's Chronicle. It is indeed a bookstore, or you could try and go to the Kank and Cart.
So what do you say, gents? Do you think we should head to the inn, or he did mention that that bookshop, that getting a map at this place probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all.
Well, do we know how far away that bookshop is? I mean, he told us some stuff about where it was, but none of it meant anything to me. Jen wants to know why we're not immediately going after blow and hookers.
Well, Jen, I couldn't answer that question. I guess it's a question they have to answer. They have to look deep inside themselves and find out why they're not doing that.
Well, it's still the middle of the afternoon. I mean, we gotta wait for nighttime, at least.
Yeah, you start doing coke at 2:30. I mean, shit.
And also, we had that the offer for stormwater before that we politely declined.
It's true. Well, but not before you stole the man's shovel that he was going to bury his grandmother with. That's a proud story.
That's true.
I think I'm going to go ahead and carve candy into the hilt of that shovel.
That was great.
Yeah, so, Corwin, you would say that based on where you are, I mean, you don't typically come to this part of town, but you'd say it's probably about, I don't know, 2,000 feet to get to the Wanderer's Chronicle?
And I'm imagining the Kank Card is considerably closer.
It is considerably closer, yeah. But of course, it would be nice, I suppose, to have a map of where you are in the first place. And it is starting out later in the day. It is now about 4 o'clock, so you have to...
Aren't we in an area with a shitload of shops right next to each other?
Yeah, but they're mostly selling things like pottery or ceramics, that sort of thing. They're not selling maps and whatnot because, as you might imagine, the people in this area aren't those literate.
We just gotta go to the touristy part of town, you know, where like every fucking little place has maps and fucking souvenirs and shit.
Yeah, the embassy.
Little miniature rainbow ziggurats you can have on your keychain and stuff.
So, your choice, though.
We
I
should
think I'd
probably
rather
just go to the inn first, I think.
Yeah, we've been carrying this pack around for a while. It'd be nice to be able to leave some of this behind.
It's pretty close by, the Kanken card. I'm a little bit familiar with it.
Well, you're not. It's just that he told you where it was.
Oh, okay. I'm not a little bit familiar with it. I'm pretty sure I'm a little bit familiar with how to get back there, though. And Corwin will head off in that direction.
Okay. You guys begin working your way through town, and you once again are crossing through the beast market, actually. It's still the same group of people who are there, except the administrator dude, he's gone now. And you eventually work your way around, and you find... At first you're looking around, and you can't really see any place that matches its description. And then you realize you're standing outside what looks like the rattiest, worst inn you have ever seen in your lives.
I'm not going up any stairs here.
And on a sign is a picture of a tank and pulling a cart.
The Kanken card.
Wow, this seems lovely. Dare we venture inside? Let's see what's going on.
Gonna be a fucking Moss Eisley cantina scene in there.
All right. So you go in?
Yeah.
That we do.
Yep.
All right. You enter in. And now, remember I described the Yellow House before, how that was not one of the most pleasant inns you had been in?
Right. Yeah.
This place is worse. It is
Lovely.
Incredibly run down. There is bits of debris everywhere, and at the counter there is a half-elf working there who is got a huge beer gut and just overall looks incredibly gross.
What race did you say it was?
Half-elf.
Those fucking half-elves.
Oh, welcome to the Kanken Cult. I'm gonna help you.
Hello,
Well,
brother.
Right.
I'll make the traditional halfling hand gesture greeting.
Halfling hand gesture?
Half
Shut
elf,
up.
half gesture.
There
Hand
is
gesture.
one. It's
The,
a half
the
hand
halfling
gesture.
one where you grab someone's hand and try and eat it.
Nice.
Oi. Help you?
No, we might possibly be looking for a room for the night.
That's good. Only got one room now, and that's reserved. Afraid to say.
Then sent us.
Oh, you're not Vincent. That case, I do have a room. One sec. I best get out my my values and all that. What they call that, a menu? And he sort of pulls out this. Basically, it's a piece of hardened parchment that has the prices on it.
One hunk.
And those question marks.
Yeah, those question marks are awesome.
I'm guessing Broy is a sort of spirit.
Yeah, it's basically the cheapest spirit that people can afford. It's fermented cank nectar. It's the cheapest of the cheap.
Cank nectar?
Yep. Yeah, and as you can see, you get reduced prices because then, since you're here, only 5 ceramic pieces per night.
That seemed pretty good.
Well, yeah, I can show you to your room. Let me just give you your key.
You got a room for each of us.
No,
Got the
one,
room for each of us, or just one for all three?
just one.
There's 3 beds in there?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. I'm immediately getting on my TripAdvisor app and beginning the rough draft of a scathing review.
It depends on how you define the word bed.
Here you go. And he hands you this rough-hewn slate key. Basically, even the key looks grimy and unpleasant. I'll show you your room, then. It's actually, in a sense, more impressive that he even has a room key. And he leads you up these set of stairs. You don't have to roll anything, though. Thankfully, the stairs are made of stone rather than wood.
Oh, thank God.
Excellent.
And he leads you to your room. And the room opens up, and this is the sight you're greeted with.
Oh, good. Oh. That's not bad.
That's a view from a hole that is in the ceiling.
I was about to say, that hole is actually there.
Yes.
Nice.
There you
What
go.
the fuck? There's not even a roof.
Well, babies can't be choosing. This is the only place I've got available now. Sorry about the damage. There was a little bit during all the chaos following Calic's death, but I think you'll find this place nice and cozy.
You can't even put a tarp over it across the hole or something.
You can do whatever you want. Just be careful. I'm not entirely sure the roof will hold up all that well.
It won't hold up well to a tarp.
It's just any added weight I'd be cautious about. Hey, you've got a daylight window, So there's that. The skylight.
Sunroof.
Value added.
We can get sun sickness being in our room.
Well,
But don't you have a whole shitload of, like, cloth?
Which got destroyed, I believe, in the
yeah.
during the whole sand burial debacle when we had it used for a tent.
It did.
Oh.
Well, Sinclair has his shit-covered clothes.
No, Corwin prestidigitated him back to normal.
So,
Fairy Godrat did that.
I'll leave this with you. Just remember, 5 ceramic pieces per night. And of course, if you want any of our fine food or water or anything, just come and ask. Of course, we don't really have water, we just have broy.
Boy, that bry.
And he just he waddles away.
Can you meet your water requirements for the day by drinking broy?
You can, yes. Because it's especially you get the sense that you can meet your water requirements by drinking broy. Yes.
But you'd have to drink a lot of it, wouldn't you?
I would say that you would have to drink a bit more of it. A general thing, a fun tip. Now, this is I know will invite the comparisons to windblown chicken, but in fact, during the medieval period and the periods beforehand, most water that people drank actually had at least a small amount of alcohol in it. That was a way of killing off bacteria and such. So really, it was not super unusual for people to be getting their water requirements from alcohol, albeit heavily diluted alcohol.
Makes sense.
Interesting. Also, maybe I could buy a bunch of broy from him and mix it with the water that I already have to dilute it down.
Yeah, you could probably do that as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole gallon for 4 copper. That's ridiculous.
How
Or,
many
you know-
pounds is that? Oh, that's 8 pounds.
Or you
Yeah.
could, look for just a person who sells water. There's
Yeah,
those.
That's always worked out well for us in the past.
But anyways,
Alright, I'm gonna ask him how much broy he's got.
oh,
on
he's
hand.
already left. He's already
Oh.
left.
I'll go back down. Because I want to get some food anyway.
I have a ton of it. And in case you're wondering, ton as in the actual storage amount. So he's saying he has about 250 gallons of it.
That's a shitload.
And how is this cank nectar being acquired?
From Kanks.
How much of this meat and bread do I need to buy to meet my food requirements?
Okay, well, the meat and bread is both pretty suspect quality, and again, you're going to want to be careful about eating it.
I'll purify food and drink on that shit.
Alright, so one sec. What is the... I just need to pull back up the Kanking card. Oh man, we're really getting to it now. So, and you'll note bits here. This place is so disreputable, it still has prices in bits. I would say that you would need to eat about 5 biscuits and a hunk of meat, or like, I don't know, 20, 30 biscuits to fulfill a day's ration. They're really not filling.
Okay.
A
I'm
hunk of
gonna
meat.
try the food out. Just give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Try it, see if it's any good, and then if it's bad, I'll just never eat here again. So I'll buy 5 biscuits and a hunk of meat, and I don't know, like a bunch of broy, like like 4 gallons.
So you want 4 pitchers of broy?
Well, if a pitcher's a gallon, yeah.
Pitchers again? All right.
Actually, maybe not that much. 3 gallons.
Oh, I don't see this so long. Yes, most of my customers do that. He sort of hogs a gob of just phlegm onto the ground.
If this makes me sick, we're gonna have words.
So, in total, this will run you 21 ceramic pieces.
Okay.
Okay. So you now have, he sits you down at a table, which is really less a table and more a collapsed table that's on the ground, and he's sort of arranged with these crappy little pillows around it.
This meat is cooked, right?
Sure.
Well, I can cook it myself. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not saying that out loud to him. I'm taking all this back to the room.
Okay.
I don't want to, like, sit down there with him or anything. I just want to get it and go back to the room.
We don't want Kusomo's sparkling company?
Not at this time.
Okay, so you head up to the room with the 3 pitchers of broy, the hunk of meat, and the 5 biscuits of hardtack.
I'll cast Purify Food and Drink on... Well, actually, I won't yet. Are you guys gonna go down and get any food and drink? I can purify all of it at the same time if you are.
Oh, wow, 3 gallons of rye. I didn't quite mark you for quite the drinker, but I gotta hand it to you.
I'm gonna mix it with my water.
Oh,
Yeah, Sinclair will go down and get enough bread and meat and for 1 day's rations and 1 gallon of broy.
Okay. So that will run you a total of so that's 13 ceramic pieces.
I try to haggle him down to 11.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Not really. I'll give him 13.
Generally speaking, innkeepers aren't really much hagglers. So yeah, 13 ceramic pieces. Now you're living the high life. You got yourselves a room, air quotes. You got yourself some meat and hardtack and broy. What could you want more than this?
Honestly, it's still better than being out in the desert eating rats and shit.
Well, in fairness, that rat was actually quite delicious. But then again, you had been starving, so probably most things would be delicious at that point. I mean, you guys still have a ton of rations. I'm not quite sure why you're immediately dipping into the hardtack, but okay.
Because those are for when we need them, when we're
Okay.
outside of the city.
All right, that's fine.
I mean, that's my view.
Yeah, Corin will also get enough for days of rations. And does he think he can do anything with the broy, with his brewer's kit or anything? Increase potency, anything like that?
Make a brewer's kit roll.
Twice brewed broy.
Yes, you do think you could probably distill it and make it stronger. I mean, it will then reduce its effect in terms of hydrating you, but it will be stronger. But of course, another thing to note is that broy is not a pleasant tasting drink. It's usually mixed with spices and whatnot to try and mask how it actually tastes.
And I'm guessing this isn't really mixed at all.
It's got some spices, like it has a bit of ginger tossed in it.
And some dust from the floor and some navel vent or something. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you could definitely, if you want to, you could distill it further.
Corbin will get a couple gallons of broy. I don't think he'll actually consider distilling it as such, but yeah, he'll get a couple gallons.
All right. Oh my, I actually don't have that many pitches. Would one be all right?
Yeah, all right. Works for me.
All right, 4 ceramic pieces.
Thank you kindly.
All right. You now have a shit ton of pitchers of broy up in your room.
So if we gather up all the... I mean, I've got a 5-foot radius sphere, so there's no problem affecting all of the food and drink. Then I'll just do purify food and drink on all of it.
Okay.
And then...
You do so, and yeah, I mean, you can't really tell if there's anything different, but you're at least now fairly confident that you won't die if you eat the food.
That's good. And I'll use my flame to, like, make sure all the meat is reasonably cooked.
Okay. You do so. The smell
Get
of
out my meat thermometer.
The smell of cooking meat fills the air.
Well, now we can chow down. Have us a little feast here in our... And I look up at this hole in the ceiling. Our fancy room.
Now you're living like you just made 350 enamel pieces.
Yeah, I don't know why the number one leading cause of death in Athos isn't suicide, because who wants to live in this goddamn world?
I don't know, the nobles probably like it quite a bit. You get slaves to do everything. You're constantly weighted on hand and foot.
Yeah, but that's only like 1% of the population or something.
I'm just saying, those are people who probably wouldn't want to commit suicide. Those people probably love Athos.
Well, this is a realm where people can come back as undead. So I think if you kill yourself, there's a danger that you'll come back in a worse state.
True, it's true.
So yeah, I'm gonna chow down, and I'm gonna mix all the broy with my current water. I'm not gonna drink the broy straight.
Okay. Well, first off, as you try and bite into the biscuits, you realize that they are basically rock hard.
I'll try to warm them up and see if that helps.
They catch on fire.
Well, I don't put them right in the flame.
I know, but they have no moisture in them is the problem.
Yeah, I'm thinking Corin would dunk his biscuit in the broy and see if that has an effect.
Yeah, you do so, and if leaving it a few minutes, you're able to make it such that you can actually swallow it. And you can safely say that this is some of the worst bread you've ever had.
Okay, I'll do the same thing. This is not very good. Not gonna buy from him again. And the broy, I assume, is also pretty nasty. What about the meat?
The meat it tastes like it's gristle, mostly.
Hmm.
And again, you're not entirely sure it's meat. This does things to your mouth that meat should not do.
Nasty ass
What?
food vendor.
Yeah.
Does Corwin get the sense that dabbling on a little bit of arcanic magics would be safe here?
Yeah, you're in a closed room. I'm assuming you're wanting to press to digitate, in which case you're in a closed room. Yeah, you could get away with that, I think.
Also, did somebody actually pay for the room?
Oh, did you guys? It's 5 ceramic pieces for all of you.
I don't think anyone did. At least I didn't. I'll go ahead and take it off mine, though.
Okay. Because, it's like you guys, you don't have enough ceramic pieces now.
We should divide that coin up just so that if one of us gets robbed, we don't lose all of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Might as well divvy it up while we're waiting for our biscuits to soak.
Jesus. I can see why the fucking sailors lose 1 morale per day when you put them on hardtack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is worse than Neutraloaf.
Well, let's not get crazy here.
You kind of get used to Neutraloaf. I mean, at first you're like, what the fuck did I just put in my mouth? But after you've been eating it for like a week, you're just like, whatever.
Oh, someone needs to make a sound clip of that to use it out of context. What the fuck did I just put in my mouth? Okay. So yeah, you guys are enjoying your food and water. So have any of you been mixing in water and everything? So Jomo, you said that you were mixing it in with your water supply. So how much water do you have total now?
Well, I had 22 pounds of water, and I just bought 24 pounds of broy.
Yep.
So obviously I'm going to drink some of that now.
All right.
And that should, if I drink 4 pounds, I should be good for today, right?
For the broy, you'll probably have to drink closer to 6 pounds for that.
Well, if I'm drinking 50% broy, 50% water.
I would say that, yeah, it would be increasing it to about 6 or 5. No, 5 for that then.
Okay. So, well, I'll drink 6, because then that's all the room I have in my water skins anyway, and my bottle.
Okay.
So, yeah, 24 plus 22 is 46.
So
So I'll drink 6 of it and cap myself off at 40, yeah.
Okay. Just note, though, that this will only be satiating you after you drink 5 per each.
Yeah, because this is like broy-y water.
Yeah. And are you guys doing something similar with your broy and water?
Yeah, I'm going to follow Joe's example, so I'll have 25 pounds and then drink 5 to get down to 20.
Okay.
Corin would just drink his straight.
All right. Sounds good. I mean, you have 8 things, and that would be enough in terms of just pure broy to...
And he only got the 1 pitcher, right?
Yeah, just 1 pitcher.
Okay, and so that's the entire pitcher?
Yep.
Okay, good.
And
so
you
this
can
food is incredibly terrible, is what you're saying.
it's you think back longingly to the wonderful time after you fought the Bosrogs and you had the weird water from their water sacks.
Ew.
And you think back to that longingly because that was better than this.
Not gonna eat here again.
Now we need to find some better food.
Jomo just didn't want to take the risk of going anywhere else. We should just rest for the night, not go back out today. That's what I think.
Well, then here, as far as the coin, and Sinclair's not going to bother with the small change, but he will fish out the 89 enamel pieces he has and just kind of throw it in the center.
Okay, yeah, in that case, Corin would pull out the 225 and the 50 for the chest.
All right. And so you're dividing that up amongst yourselves?
I'll throw my 10 enamel pieces in there too, just because we might as well divide up all the enamel pieces, right? So, what's the crazy math on that?
You should still have more because, again, you made about 350 from just selling your things, 125 from selling things to Gavin Sewell, another or 200 and how much was it? Oh, 220.
225 for the amethyst, 50 for the mystery chest.
Yes,
and
50.
Yeah, and what was
75.
Yeah.
For the other stuff.
No, I've already added in the other stuff. So, and plus, what stuff did you already have in terms of enamel pieces?
Oh, I had 14 before it all started.
Yeah, Corbin had 6 before, but I don't think he'd really consider that, I mean, he had 2 sackfuls of money, essentially, that, about the 6 that he happened to have on him.
Yeah, let's just divide up what we made today, not whatever we had before, I guess.
Oh.
So, in that case, we're dividing up 350 enamel pieces.
So that means that one of you will have to take one extra, but it's about 116 each. One of you will have to take 117.
I will take on that burden.
Yeah.
Sounds fair. So 116 for the others?
Yep.
We are kind of loaded now.
You are. You are. You see, it was a good idea to bring that amethyst here.
Also, that coin is heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. But now you've got the promise of gainful employment.
And luxurious accommodations and the finest of food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, we have so much money. I would think we could find a better inn room than this.
Well, the problem is that, as he's implied, pretty much everywhere has been rented out by people who have fled into the city. Some of them are just dirt poor refugees, and they bought most of the poor accommodations, and some are people who actually have money, and they bought out pretty much all the other accommodations.
Yeah, so there's a no vacancy sign everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess Sinclair would kind of be vocalizing this as the afternoon went on and we were eating and whatnot, but it seems like we got a good deal here. We made some good money today, but if this arrangement with Ven doesn't pay out significantly more, I'm going to be looking to move on from Tyr soon because I do not thrive well in this overly crowded environment.
Jomo feel the same way. Not want to stay here longer than we need to.
All right. Well, it's 6 o'clock at night right now, so if you guys want to rest, you can do so. Again, that's there's one bed. There's one bed. It's not the most pleasant-looking bed. In fact, you're somewhat concerned about what might be in the bed.
What's this business up here?
Oh, you think that this building used to be another structure? This used to maybe be like a person's abode or something, but was then pretty much just taken over and then converted into an inn.
Is that really the remnants of like a fire pit in the middle of the room?
Yes, it is.
Wow. But hey, at least it looks like an unused candle on the side there.
Yeah. Well, Jomo says, Jomo not need bed. I'll just lay out my bed roll.
Corbin will telekinetically lift the sheet off the bed to see if there's any fun things underneath.
About a dozen bugs scuttle out from underneath the sheet.
Yeah, I think I'll graciously pass on the bed as well. You're welcome to it, Sinclair.
No, I feel like this bed needs a sacred flame. I'm going to find some other corner to stay in.
Is the sheet itself free of bugs after moving it?
It looks to be, yeah.
Corin will kind of telekinetically move it up to the ceiling and see if he can't sort of gently...
Knox,
drape
just as a
it.
note, out a little bit.
Ah, okay. Corbin will telekinetically lift the sheet and see if he can't kind of gently wiggle-waggle it up into, up to kind of block that hole.
All right, and
Not-
what is the range on the telekinesis again?
25 feet.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Oh god, what would be? I'd say, I guess this would be an Arcana check. Or no, Arcana. Okay, yeah, you managed to do so, and you're sort of able to get the sheet to sort of like fit under the roof slats, and yeah, you're able to sort of get it wedged in there. It won't stand up to a strong wind or anything, but for now, it's sort of blocked the hole in the roof.
Well, I think that's good enough. As good as we'll get it.
Corwin, is there something you can do to the door to make it so nobody can come in?
To the door. Corwin will kind of think for a moment.
Can you, like, extra lock it or something?
Well, I guess I could take a look at the lock and that kind of stuff and see if I might be able to kind of secure it a bit more.
Oh, this can only end terribly. Let's go with this. Let's go with this. Please lock
Even
yourself.
if you make the door completely inoperable, we can always climb out through that hole in the roof.
That's
Right.
true.
All right. You can try. You can take a look. Use your thieves' tools.
I'll give him guidance on this, not that it's going to help.
You don't think there's any way that it could you could do anything more? It's a lock. It's not like you can just magically change the tumblers or something, or at least you can't right now. So yeah, there's nothing you can do to the door to change it. The most you could do to secure it is you could pile some stuff in front of the door if you so wanted to.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm like, I suppose we could put something in front of it. Or I guess I could try to trap it a little bit. I could use my hand crossbow and I guess some kind of string in here. But
Oh, this is how
That
someone
might-
gets killed.
that might not be a good idea, really.
That's how
This is
someone
going to
gets
go
killed.
really well. I like it. Now we're in trouble for murdering this innkeeper.
Well, it's your choice. What do you want to do?
I'm going to leave that decision to Corwin and just try and settle in and get as much rest as I can.
Yeah, rusty time.
All right. Corwin, what are you going to do?
Corwin will kind of look around the room and see if there's anything really he can use to kind of block the door.
There is some collapsed timber.
Collapsed timber would work. And I'm guessing this timber is fairly heavy.
Yeah, you're not telekinetically grasping it or anything like that. I'm sorry.
Damn manual labor. Carrying things all over. And he'll grab some and move it up against the door.
Okay, you do so, and The door sort of strains a bit under the weight of it, being leaned against it, but it holds. And then I imagine you go to sleep?
Yeah, I would say so.
So what time would you guys like to wake up? Because apparently I'm going to be your turn down service.
I don't know.
Probably when the sunlight coming through the hole in the ceiling is so distracting that you can't avoid waking up.
Yeah, I would think so. Actually, how many hours would that be? Ish.
Right now it would be about 12 hours.
Is there still a fair amount of light in the room?
It's rapidly dying. There's that candle, though. You could light that, I guess. Or you could try and start up that fire in the middle of the room again.
True. Have the other two started to go to sleep?
I don't know. Have you guys?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
suppose-
resting. I'm laying there probably, but I don't know that I would be going to sleep just yet since it's still pretty early.
Right.
I'm just relaxing.
Does the candle look safe?
Safe-ish. I mean, it's a pretty shoddily made candle, but you don't think it'll like explode or anything.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Okay, Corwin will prestidigitate that open, or actually activate it, shall we say.
Okay. You create a tiny spark and light it on, and you manage to get it started. And a little bit of candlelight flickers in the room.
Corwin will take out his paints and attempt to paint the proprietor of the tarnished cup.
Okay. Use your painting kit. It's not one of your better works.
This would be better if I had a rat in it. It just screams for a rat or I probably should have put... Oh, well. And Corwin will...
I'm surprised you're not like subtly hiding a rat somewhere in like the background or something.
That's true. That would probably increase the roll probably by about a factor of 10.
Yeah, probably not, though. All right, so you've got your painter's kit done. You tried to paint, and so I'm going to say that painting took about another hour, so it's now about 7 o'clock.
Do I get the sense that it's decent-ish?
I mean, it's all right. It's not like the greatest thing. You probably could sell it. It's the work of... It looks very amateurish.
Corwin will think more, and he'll consider the thought of possibly having the positioning being of, instead of just the empty space to the right of the counter there, to have the couple bottles of fine wine on it. So he would consider trying to improve it a bit, if that's able to be re-rolled.
All right, sure, you can try and repaint it. All right, this time you're able to get it. You sort of go over some of the areas that you felt weren't quite up to snuff, and now the painting actually does look not too bad. It's a nice piece of work.
There, that's a bit better. Good enough. No rats in it, I suppose, but the wine will have to do. Surely it's got to be a nice Rodentia label, but yeah. And he'll turn the light back off with prestidigitation and head off to sleep.
Okay. And you sleep, and
So
yep.
I'm sorry. I realize this is for Sinclair's the first time that there hasn't been like active travel, or we're not hitting the road, we're not outrunning dust storms, we're not whatever. We're in a relatively stable, quote unquote, place as far as Athos goes. And being somebody with this just highly focused mind and trained sense of self, he would be really, really disturbed about the lost time, the months that had left. So most of the evening before actually going to sleep is just going to be spent doing whatever meditative or mental exercises that he was taught or knows, trying to recover memory or figure out what might have happened.
All right. Make an insight check. Yeah, you keep trying to grasp at the memories. It's like frayed fabric that you're just trying to grasp onto and lead you back to the whole picture, but you're just not able to. It just keeps slipping out of your grasp, lost in the mists of your mind.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I figure it's not something that would come easily, so... Yeah, right? If only I could paint that picture. So yeah, this is just the first step in what I will imagine will be a long journey, but that's where his focus is going to be for the...
And it was a good attempt. And so time passes, and it's now the 4th of Hayes, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Guys, I'm good for about another hour.
Yeah, I'm about that way, too.
Okay.
So, we are super well rested due to our fine accommodations, yes?
Yes, oh, the best rested. Yeah, so you wake up, and a whole day awaits you. You can now go shopping or whatever you want.
What you want to do?
Well, I'd like to try and find some food that doesn't make me hate food. And then maybe we could check out that bookstore to see if we can find a map of this place. I think that would be useful.
All right, Corin, I'll say that you already know. If you want to go to food, a good place to go would probably be to the Emporiums. The merchant house Emporiums are in Iron Square. Assuming that the crowds have died down some, you should be able to make it there now. Of course, the bookstore would actually be right on your way to the... Well, not necessarily. You'd have to make a little bit out of the way, but it's sort of on your way there.
Like a close enough kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think getting a map would probably be a good idea. I mean, I've been around here before, but not really in all of these side streets and such. But there is that bookstore that would kind of be on the way to a fairly decent food place, if assuming we can actually get to it, if the throng of refugees is cleared out a little bit.
All right, well then, it's time to go shopping!
Shopping!
So, you guys head out onto the streets, going through the dusty sideways and alleyways, heading back to where Corin thinks he remembers this place. Corin, I'm going to need you to make a history check.
Okay.
That's good enough. You make a couple of wrong turns, but eventually you find your way into this little side alley, and there you find this old bookstore called The Wanderer's Chronicle. What do you do?
I think I would first consider that, does it seem that there isn't as many people in the streets?
No, there doesn't appear to be. Things seem much more subdued today. There's still some little bits of rags and some what looks like rotten food, broken pottery on the ground, signs at last of the chaos that erupted yesterday, but now things seem much calmer.
I think today should be a better day for travel, definitely. I suppose we ought to go in and see what's here, though, before we head off for some grub. And Corwin will go on in.
All right. The store is filled with this musty scent that's complemented with the smell of incense. This incense, though, is much nicer than that you smelt in the tarnished cup. An elderly owner comes over. Yes, can I help you?
Ah, yes. My friends and I were looking for possibly a map of Tyr, if you happen to have such in stock.
Oh, of course, of course. Yeah, 1 second. Let me go through my catalog here. I'll check the back. Meanwhile, please peruse the many books I have offered. So good to meet other literate individuals. There's so few of those in Athos these days. And here's the catalog.
Jomo in a bookstore is like a Neanderthal in an electronics store. It's just like, I don't know what any of this is.
A Guide to Carpentry. Nice.
Although, if this was me playing this as a game on my stream, I would read every single one of these books out loud. Dude, I wonder if we buy all these books, if then Scito will literally actually have to write them.
I've already written.
Really?
Not to all of them. Some of these are what I call training books because you can use them to help when you're training skills. And they'll also give you sometimes bonuses if you have them. But others are lore books, and those I most definitely have written things for.
Oh, shit. They're expensive, though, aren't they? Books are pretty expensive.
Yeah, they can be pretty expensive, but still. I mean, there's plenty of them to go around. So, in case you wonder if a book is like a trading book or not, ask me and I'll let you know. But, for example, usually it's pretty easy to tell if it's a training book or not. Like, A Guide to Carpentry, that's obviously for the Carpenter's Tools kit.
I see what you did there, by the way. I don't think I would trust that particular guide of carpentry. How to make some dodgy-ass stairs.
Caravan and other assorted card games.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Physiognomy and Form, a treatise on painting. I may know someone who might be interested in that.
Wait, of molten sand?
Yep, that's
What?
for that is the Glasswork Kit training book.
Oh, I see there's a survival book.
Mm-hmm.
The Art of Bluffing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Four Spirits sounds interesting. Of course, Jomo can't even read the titles of the books, so... He's just looking around to see if there's anything with pictures he can look at. Or maps.
Well, there is indeed, looking around, you do indeed see what appears to be some rolls of maps that are maps of Tyr.
Yeah, I'll just start looking at them curiously.
All right. They're all pretty well made. All these books have obviously been cared for quite well.
Because this was my family's sort of gig, Scito, do I get a sense that these books are priced fairly? That
Oh, yeah. These books all appear to be priced quite well for their... I mean, they all seem to be... As far as you can tell, none of them are shoddily made, and it seems like this guy's taking care to ensure that none of these books are what contain suspect information. He's pretty much picked books that he's fairly certain will be invaluable reads. Can't believe no one commented on Morningwood, the woodcarver's burden.
The Superior Joy
Nice.
Cookbook?
Yes,
Is that a reference to Infinite Oregano?
sure is.
Well played. Oh, I see Map of Tyr is on the list.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've looked up all the words of the inextricable quincruxus apertures, and I still don't know what that could possibly be about.
It's the Tinker Kit. It's the Tinker Kit training book. I want to just pick something that would be a weird-ass title. The Dwarven Bard, in case you're wondering, is the Brewer's Kit training book.
Ah, okay.
The Roggahead Proficiency in Brewer's Kit. And now you can see why I created this intercession thing, so that we don't have these long moments of pauses like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was waiting for the guy to come back.
Oh, no, he's come back, so you can purchase or buy or do whatever. So,
Yeah, I want a map of Tyr.
an excellent choice. That'll be 3 enamel pieces.
I'm not gonna barter. I'm just gonna give him 3 enamel pieces.
All right. And he hands you a crisp, newly made map of Tyr. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, you have a map of Tyr, which looks like this, with areas that you've been already marked down. Let me also mark down the Wanderer's Chronicle. And also, I will put it in your... Here we go.
Yay. Alright, then I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna point out each pot on the map that has words and ask him what it says.
All right. Which parts would you like to see? There's the Artisans District, the Elven Market, the Elven Bridge, the Warrens, the Merchant District, Iron Square, Caravan District. That's where we are. The Noble District, the Ziggurat, the Golden Tower, the Smiths District, the Templar Quarters, the Stadium Gate, the Caravan Gate, and I believe the final one is the Grand Gate, yes.
How far have we traveled from our inn to get here?
Well, oh, I forgot, sorry. Your inn is also on the map. There you go.
I don't see... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking at the pop-up map, not the map on the screen. I still don't see... Oh! The Wanderer's Chronicle. I see. And did you mark where our inn is, too?
Yep. I sure did.
Why don't I see it? Oh, I think I might see it now. No, that says ambush site. Wanderer's Chronicle. Oh, over there. Brick Barrow, Beast Market, Kankin Cart. And yeah, so I'm going to start literally marking on this map the places if I know where they are.
Okay.
And then...
And then...
I don't know. I was just looking at the map and...
I can see you're interested in cartography. If you want to get more into this, I would recommend visiting Athos Revealed. He doesn't start much in the way of books, but he has traveler's guides and maps to all of the major cities, as well as maps of the regions, I believe.
Where is that?
Oh, I can show you on the map, actually. Right, see, guys, this is why I told you having a map is so ridiculously useful.
Yeah. Path is revealed. Okay, cool. I'm gonna pull out, like, the maps that I've made and show them to him.
Oh, this is interesting. There doesn't appear to be any words or... And what is with these squiggles? Is that a legend of some sort?
Jomo not no words.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. There's nothing truly as terrible as not being able to read. But now Tyr is a free city, so you should feel free to read, if you'll forgive the pun.
Maybe. Jomo not good at that.
Oh, everyone can read, my boy. You just need to spend some time with it. Also, I suppose I should mention, you could also get additional maps, I suppose, at the merchants' emporiums in Iron Square. I would be careful going out there, of course. There's still some rowdiness left over from yesterday's events. Oh, such a damn shame that Rickus died, and in such an ignoble way.
How he die?
Oh, they found him there, in the center of the slave pens. He had been impaled. It's actually rather odd that. In a way, it was almost mirroring the way he had killed Calic.
Hmm.
And then, of course, you had Argus, and who was found on the steps of the ziggurat, found with a stab wound to the head. Even Neva, she had a... apologize. She had actually moved to Cled with a man named Caleb, and they were found dead in a fire that broke out there back in Smolder.
That's a good way to die.
I don't know if I would agree with that, but we've lost so many. Only Sadira and Tithian are still with us, it appears.
What's the name they give to that group?
The Deposers, my boy. The Deposers.
Just one left now, huh?
Well, two. Sadira and Tithian are both the Deposers, so in my mind, I've always considered Tithian something of a false Deposer. I mean, for me, he always seemed more of an opportunist, a rascal, if you will.
Isn't he king now?
He is indeed.
You're not afraid of talking like that about the king?
Not quite as much in here. I'm an old man, and frankly, Tithian does not have the same powers that Calic did in terms of enforcing his rule. These days, Tithian must appease many groups, and if he were to go after one such as myself, respected by the community as I am, well, he would face blowback, and that's something I don't think he'd bother himself with.
Is there some kind of group, like some organization or something that was started by the Deposers?
Most of the Deposers ended up joining the city government. Rickus, of course, became the general of Tyr's armies. Sadira works as a member of the council underneath Tithian, as did Argus, and Neva ended up leaving. I understand was something of a romantic issue with Rickus, in fact, if the salacious rumors are to be believed.
Jomo looks at the others and he says, Jomo would rather work for them than Ven, if we had a choice. But they might not need us for anything.
Yeah, they If we have the opportunity, I agree.
Sometimes you gotta take the hand you're dealt with, so to speak.
Not unfortunately a great deal of work, honestly. I really wish I could help you out there if that's what you're looking for, but there's just so little to go around. Oh, it's strange, really. I thought that it was during Palik's reign Tyr would see its darkest days, but some days I wake up and I truly wonder if it is not now. But I banish those thoughts. Palik was a tyrant, and we are all better to be rid of him.
But people who run shops like you seem to be doing fine.
Well, shops such as my own, yes, we are doing all right for now. Some have been doing less well, but overall, the merchants and shopkeepers have been doing all right. It's more the common people, the laborers, and especially the refugees who are finding it the hardest. My heart breaks to see so many young people still dying when I thought all that would be over with.
Don't know. City's always full of problems.
Yes, they are. Oh. Why, if I was still in my youth, I was quite a lone wolf back then, always looking to solve problems, but now in my older age, I just try and rest and spread some of the wisdom I've accumulated over the years.
You guys gonna buy anything?
I'm gonna come back. There are a lot of titles here I'm interested in, but not at the moment.
Oh, that's fine. And as I said, young man, if you're looking for guidebooks or anything like that could help fill out your map, as it were, I would highly recommend Athos Reveal. The owner's a bit of a sprog, but overall, I think you'll find the selection quite nice.
What do you guys think about showing him the journal?
Do we still have the journal?
You do.
Yeah, because Ven said he was going to try to find people that'd be interested in it. He didn't, actually take it from us.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. I think that's a good idea, Jomo.
Yeah, Corin would readily agree with that.
You know about, what was the name? What were...
Raha and the Knee twins.
Well, yeah.
Sisters.
The Knee, yeah, you know about the Knee family, Raha.
Oh, yes, they're infamous. The legends of the atrocities they committed against the slaves, there's few things that make my blood boil quite as much to hear what they did.
We found out that stories about them are wrong.
Wrong, you say?
And I just kind of indicate toward the journal if one of them has it.
Yeah, it was, it was true about their father, definitely, but it's strong evidence that the actual Knee sisters didn't quite follow in their father's footsteps and actually tried to liberate some of the slaves, specifically the children, mostly.
He takes the book and he begins flipping through it, and his eyes quickly widen as he's looking through it. This was clearly written with a practiced hand. The sigils of the family of Nehemiah. Spirits, this could actually be authentic. Where did you find this?
In the Knee house, in Raha.
You went to Raha? Oh, I had heard that I had long thought that no one went to Raha anymore, but oh my, this is quite a find you have on your hands here, friends. Oh, incredible. I thank you for showing this to me.
We want the true story of them to get out. You know who we could give this to, or show it to, or like this is what are they called? The people that make the stories of what happened.
Historians, but I'm afraid you'd have to be very careful. There's many who would like to twist this tale or bury it. I'm afraid I don't know anyone of the sort. But if I can give one bit of advice, even if I can't help you find it a home, be very careful with this knowledge. What you have here, it's more than just the truth. Books, stories like these, they have a life of their own. They are a choice. That is what you have here. Be extremely careful with it.
You
All
may
right.
not understand.
I think you do, my boy. I think you do. Even if you don't quite understand the words of it, you understand the spirit of it. And he puts the book gently back in your hands. Good
I want to use that line on somebody now. When I say something like, I don't understand what you mean, I think you do. I think you do. Even if you don't understand the words, you understand the spirit of it. And they're just gonna look at me like, what?
Yeah, but he's old, so he gets to do that sort of thing. He's an old Elder Ramoa type character, so he gets to do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, if there's anything else, just please let me know.
Okay, thanks.
If you want to go to Iron Square, if I might make a suggestion, I would highly recommend the House Wavia Emporium. They, in my opinion, are the best in terms of the quality of their goods.
What about best place to buy animals?
Well, you could always head to the Messenger's Mount or the Beast Market. Though the Beast Market typically isn't where you would buy mounts, so I would say the Messenger's Mount would probably be the best place to do so. The Dracoman Station also tends to have a fair number. The Artisan... Oh, yeah?
Mark that on map, please.
Of course, of course.
Oh, I see. Those are both right down by the caravan gate.
Is there anything else you might need, my boys?
Not for now, but thanks again for everything.
It's of no issues. I always just try and provide a helping hand, as it were. Have a good day, then.
Appreciate the info. Here, I'm gonna try to hand him a couple more EP.
Oh, that's quite all right. I make more than enough running the shop, and I can see you boys have seen some hard times. It's as in my own face, I recognize a fellow traveler. Please keep it for yourselves. I have a feeling you might need it. If you forgive me for saying, walk a hard road.
We might be back. Thank you. What you guys want to do?
Well, let's head to get something to eat before anything else. But it sounds like we should definitely check out these places. Be a lot of interesting things to be found.
Yeah, Corwin kind of has to tear himself from the books and being a bit mesmerized by all of them and trying to figure out which ones to get and then deciding, you know what, not better to wait, that kind of thing. And yeah, you're saying food, right? Yeah. There's a good place in Iron Square, I believe, that's got some nice food. I've been there before.
Did he mark the House Wavir Emporium on the map too?
Sure. He'll mark it for you.
Thanks. Alright, yeah, I'm good to go.
Alright, so where are you guys heading? Oh, and I'll also say that, Nox, you know where what other places as well.
Okay, yes.
Oh, the Golden Enix. You were mentioning that place before, weren't you?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mentioned that it was down Caravan Way, but he didn't know exactly how to get there from with all the people that were clogging up the street.
Watch we go there, and they're like, oh yeah, we got plenty of rooms, luxurious rooms, with ceilings and baths.
Well, we did only pay for 1 day at the other place.
It's true.
Well, it's your choice. Where do you want to go? You've got a lot of places to.
Wherever you guys want to go.
Well, suppose we might as well get some grub. And, yeah, Corbin will kind of go toward the direction of Iron Square and where he remembers that the food place is.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to note this right now. There's no food place in Iron Square.
Oh, I'm trying to think now.
I'm not quite sure.
I'm just gonna Google Maps and see if there's a Qdoba around, or... Definitely not a Chipotle, though.
I remember there was a place mentioned that had... Actually, probably it's the Golden Inex Inn. Now that I'm thinking of it, it's probably the place that was mentioned.
Well, yeah, let's go there because it kind of looks like it's in the middle of everything else that we're interested in. So.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he would kind of go around that way and then... Yeah.
All right. You work your way to Caravan Way finally and head your way south. You note that the streets are strewn with litter, and every so often you'll see some Templars walking by with another person who's been arrested for violating orderly conduct or that sort of thing. Eventually, however, you make your way down to the door of the Golden Enix.
What's it look like?
It's
a nicer place?
It does look like a much nicer place. I mean, compared to the Kank and Cart, it is infinitely nicer than the Square Enix. It has a sign of a Golden Enix, of course, on it. Looks like it may have suffered a little bit of damage on the front of it from the various rowdiness yesterday, but other than that, it looks like a decent place. So from inside, you can already see that it is packed.
I completely missed Jen's comment until now when she said, buy all the books and then read them out loud on a separate bonus stream.
Yeah. Oh, I would do it. If we could afford the books in-game, someday we'll have enough money to buy all the books.
And there is indeed lore that can be read.
All right, so try and elbow our way in to see if there isn't a corner or a table or something. Try and get something to eat in this place.
All right. You sort of work your way in and finally manage to find yourselves a table. A waitress who looks like she has been suffering entirely too much in the way of people coming in. Hi. Sorry, what can I get you? We're really busy, so if you could just make your order fast. I'm sorry.
Sure. What do you have?
Well, we have some braised caribou. We also have some basra meat. We also have some cheese if you'd like that, and some bread. We also, of course, can, I shouldn't say this. we could set out a small meat portion for you, but I'm afraid a sampling of meat, in other words. But I don't know if the kitchen will have that ready in time for you. We also have some ale on tap if you'd like.
Everything you just said, please bring that to us.
Oh, okay. Well, how much exactly do you want? I mean, and she sort of is looking over at you a bit panicked, just trying to figure out exactly what you want.
Well, an ale for me and some fine cheese and bread.
Okay. Let me just pull up my price guide here. Price guide. This is why I made you. Price guide. Why can't I find you? There you are. Okay. So yeah. Right. Oh, okay. So the cheese is going to run you about a slate piece. Are you each getting a mug of ale or are you getting a gallon of ale?
You got water?
We have some water, yes.
What was it you said about meat?
Oh, well, we have several types. We have some braised caribou that I can heavily recommend, some Bosrog strips, and as well as a meat sampler plate that we have. But that one will take longer to prepare, and honestly, I don't know if the kitchen can handle it right now.
Well, I'll have some of that braised caribou, some cheese, bread, and some ale, a pitcher.
Okay. And for you, sir?
I
Yeah,
want
she's
all the same food, but I just want water, not ale.
Oh, okay. And you, sir? And she looks at you, Corwin.
Yeah, I'll have a tankard of ale as well, and yeah, bread, cheese, and yeah, I'll have some Bosrog.
Okay, and let me total this up. I'm getting my abacus out. My abacus here, guys.
We're about to eat Athasian beef. Right in front of you.
That's quite evil.
Yeah, I think my alignment has to shift. I ate some caribou meat and all of a sudden I'm like, never mind! Let's kill whoever Ven wants us to!
Nice.
Fuck it! Let's go into the crime business, boys!
And 1 sec, just need to get one last thing. Okay, so that's going to run you at 12 slate pieces and 6 ceramic pieces.
Okay, well, I've got 15 slate pieces, so I'll just hand her over all those.
All the slate, you're tipping your waitress?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Oh, wow.
That's like over 100% tip.
She said 12
Wait.
slate pieces and 6 ceramic, so it
Oh, 12, and then you gave her 15. Okay, that's
just...
fine.
Yeah.
Math. Those math skills, though. Wow. Thank you. I'll see it brought to you right away. And in fact, I'll also see if I can get you a bit of better quality ale. How about that, sir?
That'd be great, thank you.
Ah, that would be excellent.
She runs off, and about 15 minutes later, she finally returns with all your food, and it looks, compared to the food that you had eaten before, fantastic. There is a pitcher of water, a pitcher of ale, which smells delicious, as well as a tankard for Nox, as well as an empty tankard for Sinclair.
All right, well, yeah, and we'll tuck in, as the British say.
Yeah.
And
Tuck the fuck in.
And you've eaten many things this past while, these past almost a month now. Many things that you're not proud of eating. Many things that weren't delicious. This is comparatively, even though maybe in other times you'd say it's just sort of average, this is the best food you can remember eating. It is fantastic.
Ah, now this is proper fare.
Feels good to eat something that isn't rations or a random desert beast.
Yeah, it is seriously one of the best. I mean, again, it's a lot of it's speaking just from the crap that you've been having to deal with lately, but it just tastes so wonderful.
Great.
All right, everyone. Oh, you're already finished. Wow. Oh, I should note, we actually, we just got in a bit of goat's milk, and I could actually get you each a tankard of it if you'd like.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll try it.
All right. No charge. And she rushes away and hurries back with 3 tankards of goat's milk.
When she comes back, I'm going to give her 2 more slate pieces.
She smiles and she nods and she looks extremely appreciative. I mean, you can tell that she's been worked to the bone this past while. And yeah, you now have 3 tankards of milk.
Sounds like a good way to finish a breakfast.
Perfect. Milk. Yay.
Yay. Corbin will
No-
go ahead and chug the milk.
It's no orange juice, but yeah, let's enjoy the
Wow.
milk.
Nothing is.
All right. You guys have finished your meals now, and you can already tell, though, there's already a push, basically, to get more people seated in, so one of the other waitresses sort of ushers you out once you've finished eating.
That's fine. I don't really have a strong preference on where we head next, but this also seems like a good a time as any to call it, unless there was something else you guys wanted to do for the night, because I think we've just got like 10 minutes left or so.
I was just thinking the same thing, actually.
Okay. Well, then I guess this wasn't going to be the last one. That means the next one will probably be a pretty short session, but still, so not much in terms of combat and whatnot, but you did make a crap ton of money.
Yay.
That's
Although
true.
I just looked at the mount prices again, and I'm like, oh, we're still pretty poor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have enough to afford a crodloo now and a wagon, and really that's all you need.
That's literally what I was just thinking that we should buy, yeah. So anyway, that was good. I had a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
We
Yeah.
found a lovely place to stay, so that's all that
Yeah.
really matters.
Found the best place to stay.
On honest employment.
Mm-hmm. Now that's a place that you can write home about. Well, if, Jomo had a home, and...
And could write. There's like a number of obstacles between Jomo and writing home. Yeah. I don't know if anybody else has a home to write back to. Well, Corwin probably does.
Yeah, Orwin, actually, he has a pretty nice home to write back to.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
It's all a matter of just ramming that Balakan blockade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we should do.
All right, so, Josiah, do you want to end this episode then?
Yeah, I will do that. Alright, well that's going to do it for this episode. So, thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Dungeons & Dragons. This is the Shattered Crown campaign with DM Scito. Dark Sun, 5th edition, D&D.